make a friend. If you need a story, on Sty you can depend. His voice is soothing like a lullaby. Sometimes he brings a tear to my eye. Sit around the campfire and hear him tell his tale. Some may be able to relate to him quite well. We're all just people looking for a place to go. Well, Sty has made one, and it is quite a show. Come meet Sty, he's quite the guy.
Well, hi everybody. Sunday night. Hey, Sty Story Sunday. Yeah, let's get on with the story right now. Calm down, calm down. I only do that at the half-hour mark. Come on, relax. Let's get settled in first. Hey everybody, share this out. Get all your friends and buddies and characters to show on up, and let's enjoy a stream together. Hey, I've got a dear friend down in the basement. And I'm going to get him pulled up here ASAP. But before I do, I got to shout out all these folks out in that chat. Oh, excuse me. First one that popped in the chat tonight was Sweet Cindy Lou. Yeah, Cindy Lou who? Love you, Cindy Lou. It's so good to see you. And then Kimberly Ferris. Oh, what a dependable she is. Oh, you betcha. And there's Tales of a campground host. He says, it's a raid. Here we come, Sty. Now, he did a live stream an hour before this one. I had to cut out the last about 6 or 8 minutes because I got to get my own going up and running. And it was great. I enjoyed it. He hasn't streamed for about 2 years, done a live stream himself. And he did excellent tonight. And I need to say, I want everybody out there, you're going to probably hear it a couple of times tonight during the stream. If you're not following Tales of a Campground Host, please do. Please do. And please entertain his live streams whenever he does one. Don't just watch his videos. Entertain his live streams. Let's get some exposure and share him out, and let's help him get his channel growth going. Okay, him and I got a collab going on in the future, and I want to make sure this fella succeeds. He just loves YouTube, and we'll talk to him in a bit. He's down in the basement, along with another goofball down there that everybody knows. I'll be bringing his tail up too. Oh, he's got a shocked look on his face, like, what's he saying about me? What? I am so innocent. Yeah, you can just about guess who I got in the basement. Yeah, and then Tim with Kirk Whipper Voyager Center. Where are you? There you are. There he is. Great to see you, bud. Everybody saying hello to each other in the chat. There's TM. Awesome. TM is such a regular. Yeah, if I don't see TM, I get concerned, What's up? There's Kayla. Where there's Kimberly, there's Kayla. There's Kayla. Yes. Good to see you, sweetheart. Hey, B-Lady. Oh, it's so sweet to see you. Oh, you like my background, huh? Yeah. I figure Sty Stories needs a library, right? And that's why my actual background, but this is the corner I sit in when I tell Sty stories. And people say, Sty, have you read all those books? I go, no, I wrote all those books. Those are all my Sty stories. Who the heck sent me that? It's a great saying. I just got a Facebook notice. I don't know who sent me that because I'm not opening Facebook right now. But this is what it says. I'm just saying, people who collect magazines have a lot of issues. That's all. I love it. I love it. I love it. How many issues do you have? Too many. Doggone it. Yeah, I got a mess going on here. There we go. I used my mouse, so I screwed up instead of my Stream Deck. I gotta keep reminding myself, hey, you got the easy way out, boy. You got a 32 key Stream Deck to use. It is so great to see you, B lady. And they're spicy. They're spicy. Now, wonder who I was talking about down in the basement, right? Oh. There's Nick Green. I was watching his stream today. Yeah, he's out in the Trap Shack and talking trapping and a few other general discussions. It was great to just hang out there and kind of be in the shadows. And I left a couple comments, but I was just enjoying just watching him stream from his Trap Shack. That was fun today. Going through. I'm getting down there. There's Mojo. Now you stick around, Mojo. Stick around. Yeah, it's great to see you, buddy. Because I got something from Mojo. And we're going to talk about that real soon. Probably before we actually do the Sty story. Boy, people are just chatting away tonight. That's cool. That's cool. I'm at the bottom. So I'm going to bring these guys up. And I'm just going to bring them up. Boom, boom. Because I want to. Yeah, try to stop me.
Oh, am I dark compared to the live stream? Man, I took my light away.
I mean, I'm always a little concerned that I got such a dark background, and then my green screen's a little dark. And Phil, he can get away with dark because he's got all that fluorescent light in the background and he's got just the right amount of facial light that, I mean, nice crisp picture and he stands out. But you, buddy, you look like one of those guys where it's got the voice alterator going and yeah, I was there and I witnessed Joe Biden do that. I seen that shit and my voice has been changed
the other day and
trying to protect his identity. I mean, what the hell?
I took the lamp away. I think my lovely assistant is bringing back my light.
There you go.
I don't have one of those fancy studio lights. I got to bring the floor lamp from the other room.
There's your lamp.
See?
Bring that lamp back in here. What are you doing taking that in some other part of the house?
Well, now the dark.
I could care less if anybody else can see me. You know. Yeah, make sure to grab that light off the staircase. Yeah, that's the one I like.
Is that better?
Yeah, excuse it. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, you stand out a little bit more. We can identify you at least now.
Wait, no, that's a violation of the witness protection program.
Hey, that's your fault, not ours. That's your problem, not ours. So, Spicy.
Yes, sir.
How are you tonight, man?
Oh, hey, things are what things are with everything that's been going on. So we're good. Hey.
So you can tell me at least things didn't get any worse today?
Things didn't get any worse today.
There. That's
good.
Yeah.
That's good. And work has been okay. Work has, as bad as it could be because of everything that's going on, work has been fine, probably better than fine. So, hey.
Yeah, you saw the down and rough times at work. So now if it picks if it picks up just a little bit, it feels a lot better,
Yeah, I
So
mean, people right now are just they're lucky. They feel lucky to get a car, so there's not all this back and forth and everything else that usually results in me making less money. So I do the best I can for the people who come in and see me, but so,
that's yeah.
Well,
And that's it, is your hands are pretty well tied,
Yeah.
I can imagine, Phil. We just traded the Suburban in on a car, and
Oh, did you?
How old was Suburban?
Oh, yeah.
it was a 2012.
But you got a lot more money for it now than you would have a year ago.
After some negotiating and back and forth, I got 13 for it.
I don't know if that's good or not, but
I don't.
the values on used vehicles is definitely up, especially if you got a 1 or 2, 3-year-old vehicle. Those values are. But yeah.
Well, originally they offered me 11, and NADA listed clean trade-in at almost 16.
Yeah.
Oh,
so there was a little work to do, but
Yeah.
I accepted 13.
Yeah. As long as you're happy with what you got, you don't feel that they
I'm not
squeeze
the one
it
that
out.
has to be happy with it. It's Stephanie's car.
Well, true, that too. But if Stephanie's happy, you should be. That's
I know.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
want to
happy that what we got her gets 33 miles to the gallon.
I don't want to be one of these people to tell you what you should have done after the fact, so I'll keep my mouth shut.
Yeah.
But if anybody needs any advice, everythingspicyphil@gmail.com. If you're trading in something, I can give you some advice of what you should do right now in this market in order to maximize what you get for your vehicle.
Yeah. Hey, Gemma, Journey Grace. Now, I'll tell you what. This car market is effed up.
Yes.
When our local Honda dealer, right? Big Honda Toyota dealer, right? They're running ads on our local radio constantly, almost every 20 minutes. They're big old ads on there. You got to listen through that thing. And what do they say? Do you have a Ford, Chrysler, Dodge? You got an SUV, a pickup truck, Chevy? Bring them to us. We'll give you an offer that you can't refuse, and we'll have that money in your hands within 48 hours for an outright buy. And they're not saying come on in and get a new Honda and bring your trade in. They're saying bring us all of your other make vehicles because we'll buy them from you. The Honda dealer, I run into one of their sales reps down there, and I go, "What's with all your damn Honda ads, and all you're asking for are other makes? You're not even asking that someone to come and trade in their Tacoma, He goes, "Well, no, we want them to buy our vehicles, what the few we got, but we don't have enough to go around. So, and everybody wants used vehicles, so we want to buy all of them. We don't care who made them. We just want them on our damn lot." I go, "You got to be kidding me." He goes, "Well, no, we're not." It's an inside kind of joke, but all of us salesmen say, "I really didn't think I'd go to work for an actual used car lot." Because they're the biggest Toyota Honda dealer in the North Country up here. Everything that they got is used and a different make. It's not even their own brand. It's a giant ass used car lot, and the poor Chevy dealer across the way, Chevy, Cadillac, all the GM products, their lot is thin, and all the new rigs that are parked out front towards the highway, those are already pre-solds. They're just waiting for the owner to come get them, and their lot is virtually empty. The used lots, they got some vehicles, but not a lot. You just look at that Honda Toyota dealership, and their lot is packed full of everything except Toyotas and Hondas. I mean, that.
Your rental car companies are buying everything up right now. Hertz and Enterprise, they're used to buying brand new cars and flipping them in about 6 months to a year.
Well, they're finding out they can't do it.
Now. So now they're having to buy the 2-year-old vehicles off of lease and they're paying. They got to have cars, so they're paying all the money. They're paying stupid money for the cars. So,
Yeah.
so what most of these dealerships are trying to do is trying to get trade-ins for their retail, because again, we got to sell cars. We got to sell cars to our customers, our communities, and everything else. But you know what? You get outside of Michigan, and they're getting a lot more for these cars. So a lot of these places, if you go on these things like Carvana and things like that, you can actually get a little bit more for your vehicle, because they'll give you top dollar and they'll pick it up and send it somewhere where it's getting more money. Your market may not be getting all the money on that particular car, but
real quick, I want to say hi, Lawn Dog. Lawn Dog's here. See how fast I can say that, you other dirty-minded characters.
Cindy Lou, we got a couple of inches here.
We
got 2 inches of snow too.
Hey, Rebecca, good to see you. They're looking at Christmas lights. Yeah, it's that time of year, ain't it?
Lawn Dog 6 years is usually the most. So
6 years.
He's talking about auto loans. Yeah, most people will max out at 6 years. Not too many people will do 84 months, which is your 7 years. Usually, if you see doing that, it's someone that probably shouldn't be getting a Suburban, or someone who shouldn't be getting a Corvette if they got financing for that long a term. So I
know. I know several.
I hope you didn't do yours for 84 months or Trent.
Unless you had it planned that way.
Yeah.
If you had a good reason to go 84 months, but
there's
not many. There's not many good reasons.
5 years.
5.
I don't like going beyond 5.
A lot of my acquaintances, they'll do a 2.5 to 5 year. That's it. You know.
I think my truck is 4.
Working on my.
It's all based on what you want that monthly payment to be.
Playlist. There you go.
And
Heartside. Eileen, hello.
I'm sure you've seen plenty of people come in and say, I don't care what it is as long as it's $300 a month. And whenever they ask me, well, what do you want the payment to be? I say, if the numbers come where I want it to be, then the payment won't matter.
Well, then obviously you have that luxury. A lot of people don't have that luxury.
Right. A lot of people are really fixed on what they can allocate, for their monthly payment. So that's what they do, is they walk in the door and they knock $100 off of what they can afford and say, that's what I really want to do.
That's for most people. That's why I backtrack. I say, all right, so you want your payment to be $300. Okay. Well, 300 times 72, which is 6 years, is 20 is what, 21,000, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I says, now that card's got to have taxes on it. So you got to back the 6% out of that. And now you're not going to get a 0% interest loan on a used car. So now you got about $2,000 in interest. So now you're looking at about a $15,000 car. Are you looking for a $15,000 car? Well,
that's it.
I want something newer than that. Then you better rethink where you want the payment to be. Maybe a $400 payment, maybe $375. I set up I've been doing this 20 years. When someone comes in and tells me something that I think, based on what they're asking for, I let them know up front. I don't want to let them know all the way at the end of the process. And I can't pay that. Well, then
and that's it. Is you don't want them to have to rethink the whole deal at the end. You want them to think the deal through so that you can get it to the end. And hey, Mojo, are you still out there, buddy? I hope you are. I finally got this the other day from Mojo.
Well, there you go.
Check the old Sty North mailbox here in Ashland, Wisconsin, and sure enough, Mojo's letter was in there. So I'm going to open this puppy up.
You got a puppy?
I'm going to open him up with this pocket knife.
No!
Oh, don't do it, Sty. Don't do it. See, that's it. You got to be careful what you say, because people misconstrue.
Don't open the puppy. No.
Yep. And here we go. I knew what was in here, but it's always a thrill, and I really like. Here, I'm gonna use my stinking Stream Deck here.
Which button
again.
is it now? Which button?
I know, girls. I know.
No, that ain't the freaking
That
button.
ain't the button, damn it.
Oh, there's the button. There. I'm moving shit. My Stream Deck, the boom arm for my mic was in the way. So I'm looking over the boom mic to see my panel. Now it's sitting where I can see it. But I loved what he wrote on the back. Oh, I love
That's
that. Even if it's artificial love, I love. Yeah, it feels good. Yeah, he's trying to make me feel good. But here's what he sent me. Does anybody want to go to Sonic? I can get a cheeseburger, and I can get me a vanilla ice cream cone at Sonic. I only have to drive over 60 miles to get one.
There you go.
From where I am, but
That's the deal.
But if after driving that 60 miles, drive for over an hour, I'll probably be hungry by the time I get there, right? So he's got me covered if I ever have to head up there. Otherwise, hell, I might give these. That's 2 Christmas gifts. Hey, let's have a giveaway on the Sty stream. We're going to have a giveaway tonight, folks. I'm going to give away 2 coupons to Sonic. Oh, isn't that nasty? Yeah, but I love it. Yeah, he said, I got all these coupons. I'm sending them to everybody, whether you got a Sonic or not. Maybe somebody in your family's close to one or something. So, yeah, I do know a couple people I can actually forward these to. Pay it forward. But this is what I was looking for. And he sent me a pair of them. Check out his channel sticker. It's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, isn't it? Grilling and chilling with Mojo.
Nice one.
He did a good job. Very good logo there. That sticker is awesome. He sent me a pair of them, which is great because this summer I was supposed to have all my channel stickers from all my great channels all put on the adventure trailer. Guess what didn't happen? These go into that project baggie that's gotten quite thick. Goes in with those. This summer, these are going on my trailer. Well, one is going on my trailer. I'm going to put every unique sticker I have on that trailer and keep any duplicates because eventually I hope I live long enough that they wear out and I need to replace a few once in a while, you know. Mojo, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Check his channel out. He's got a great channel. If you like cooking on the grill, yeah, he's a guy to follow. Yeah, grilling and chilling.
And he has a pretty big Facebook channel too. He's got 1.6 thousand members over there on Facebook too. So check him out over there.
Yeah, he's got his Facebook page is like his group is what a lot of YouTubers wish they had for their channel. You know,
it looks like he was a Facebook guy first and it became a YouTube guy. Just my guess, but
yeah. He's pretty fresh in the YouTube world, but he's going to be relocating, moving to a different part of the country, and retirement's coming up, and he's just getting geared up for retirement and a lot of grilling and chilling on YouTube. So he's like Travis over here. I'm all for it, man. Anything we can do to help him build his channel, and but yeah, that was awesome. I thank you very, very much. You know, for you folks that are going to be sitting through the Sty Story tonight, here we'll start that in about 5 minutes. Finally, I'm telling a story where it won't bother me if you say, "Oh, that story was a bunch of bullshit."
You're going to tell us a bullshit story again? I mean, a bullshit story?
I've never told you a bullshit story. This one is.
Oh.
because it is about bullshit.
Oh.
The real thing.
Hmm.
The title of it is The Manure Cart, you know. So yeah, kind of gives you a clue that we're going somewhere shitty. Yeah.
Yeah, Biff Tannen doesn't like bullshit either. Just saying.
That's yeah. What kind of crap is that, right? But yeah, this story actually is reflecting in it. Yeah, it's a childhood story, but one of those childhood memories where you go, I don't give a shit. I'm turning 65. If I was in that same spot right now today, under the same circumstances, I'd do it again. Yeah, one of those childhood moments that, oh God, I want to do it again. And now I'm grown up. I can't get in trouble. Yeah.
Well, you can still get in trouble.
Yeah, but I can just say it. I don't care. Shut up. Go away. Yeah. Back in those days, if I would have said that, yeah, my lips would have landed in next Tuesday. Yeah. Mojo sent you an email.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it there, Mojo. Maybe take it a minute, but yeah, I ain't seeing it, bro. Make sure you spell it right. Makes a difference.
Yeah. And be patient, you know. Heck, regular mail's slower than shit, so why is an email a little slow too? Hey, JCT, sweetie, it's great to see you. I hope you're doing well.
What's up, girl?
Yeah, I had a real interesting day. We're going to get into that after the Sty story. My day started out just the way it was supposed to. It started out like shit. It was lousy. And it just got better and better and better through the day. And then here I am, man. Here's the frosting on the cake. You betcha. Hey, there's Blake. Hey, Blake. Hurst. Awesome.
Yeah, one of the things we confiscated from my father-in-law's house, you may remember this, Sty, or maybe you wouldn't. There's a seed bag that you throw over your back, and it's got a canvas bag that you put seeds in, and at the bottom of the thing, it's got a little wheel, and you crank this little handle, and you actually could seed your yard through this seed
right
bag.
It's a spreader. Yeah.
So yeah.
Used many of them.
It's one of my father-in-law's. It was hanging down in the basement.
That's awesome
down there.
It's awesome that it's the bag type.
Yeah.
Because now most of the spreaders you get, they're just a square or round plastic container that you put your seed in, and then you put the spreader attachment, you screw it on. The old bag ones, the canvas bag, build the bag, and
this is more of an antique because that plastic bag and that strap is wouldn't probably take wear and tear. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's one of those things that, you know, my wife's like, it's my dad's, take it home. We'll put it somewhere. We'll do something with it. So,
hey, I'll tell you what, and this is no shit. And if I was a younger man, that would be my next financial venture. Stuff like that. I see it all over the place. I see it in yard sales and crap. People don't know what they have. So, you know, they'll sell something like that for $2 or $5, hoping they'll get the money for it. I'll walk up there and say, yeah, you got it marked for $2. I'll give you $1. Okay, fine. I turn around, I come back, and I don't automatically list something like that spreader on eBay. Oh, no. First thing I do is I start searching to find out if there's any markets out there specifically for that item. If there's not a specific market, then I'll go to eBay. And I bet you that bag and spreader probably bring you anywhere from $50 to $200. Especially if you go to Etsy, you can put $350 on it and it'll sell in a flash, because you know what? Rich people want that old, out of the woodshed or out of the garage junk. And what do they do with it? They don't do nothing. They don't clean it or nothing. They hang that son bitch on their wall and they go, ain't that awesome?
Yeah.
Ain't that awesome? I mean, the world's full of morons. And I tell you, you might as well make some money off of them. You know, ain't that terrible? Ain't that terrible?
I got snowshoes, a saw, and a fox trap up on my wall. It must be a moron.
Yeah, there you go. Well, you know, we all like to fit in. You know. See, I don't have to hang that shit on the wall. All I have to do is be there. They go, yeah, we got old shit hanging on the wall, and we got old shit sitting at the end of the couch. Yeah, he's part of the furniture. He's part of the decor. Well, guys, we're going to do this Sty story. Okay? Sty story time. Hey! The manure cart. All right. When I was a kid, I had a grandfather that was pure outdoorsman, man. He was a pure outdoorsman. He was a logger most of his life. He was a licensed boiler maker. He managed huge steam operations for the Masabi Iron Range for their big steam tractors and crap back in the day, and sawmills all over northern Minnesota. He come and service their big steam boilers and the steam engines. And he was a furniture builder. He built furniture out of natural materials and stuff. I have a china cabinet that his father had built, and that china cabinet's 170 years old, and that thing is to die for. And plus the idea that it was handcrafted in somebody's shed 170 years ago. That's one grandpa. The other grandpa, he was a good old farmer. That's all he knew. He was born, raised on a farm, got married to my grandma, and got their own farm. Oddly enough, during the Depression, just before the Depression came in, he had purchased a new farm, and they traveled all the way from Pewaukee, Wisconsin, which is against the Lake Michigan. They had a farm there that he was leasing, but they had bought a farm way over in Wilmer, Minnesota, which is dead center almost in the state of Minnesota. And they traveled all the way there with an old Model A truck and everything they owned in that truck. And they got that new farm. Well, he farmed through the Depression, through the war. Finally, now I was just a little guy at the time. I believe I was about 7 years old at the time. And we'd get dropped off at that farm in the summer, and you had no choice, man. That's one of your responsibilities. Our folks would take us way the hell out to Wilmer, Minnesota, drop us off at the farm, and you're there for a minimum of a full month if you weren't there for 3. And you worked the farm. You worked for Grandpa. Well, my granddad had got to the point where he didn't want to farm so much, but he didn't want to give up the farm, the property. So he would lease land, and he leased out the dairy barn to someone else. And he still raised a few animals, you know. He had a couple of big prize-winning bulls that for sires that he would, all the local farmers would come to him and, can you bring that bull to my place? I want it to sire a bunch of my cows. And that's how he made money. You know, he had these big fancy bulls, right? And he had pigs and chickens and normal little farm critters around. But he didn't milk anymore. And that's all right, Travis. Totally understand. Have to go to the rescue. Caden has car isn't starting. Oh, okay. Yeah, sounds good. But so the farm was still operational, even though he wasn't doing much of the farming himself anymore. Well, the barn, it was a good sized barn. It held 80 cows, 40 down each side of the barn. Now, if anybody's seen inside of a old style dairy barn. It's a concrete floor, and you see these two long gutters, the full length of the barn, and there's stalls, sanctions in the stalls, and that's a piece of equipment where the cows come in and they go right in it. They learn which stall is theirs, and they'll walk right in. They stick their head right to that sanction, and you go down the road and you lock them in. Well, now they can't back up and they can't move around. And the way the barn's designed, the concrete pad they're standing on, that gutter is right under their tail, because they're going to crap all over. Them cows, they don't quit crapping because they came in the barn, right? So they crap in that gutter. And when you're done milking and you turn all the cows back out, then you got to go and you shovel anything that did get in the gutter into it. And then you shovel the lengths of that gutter. You shovel all of that cow crap into a wheelbarrow and you haul it out, right? Well, my grandpa in the day, this is before they came up with all these automatic barn cleaners. Nowadays, they've got these paddles that run down those troughs, and they can turn that on, and it drags all that manure out, and it dumps it outside. Okay? Now, some farms have what they call liquid manure systems, where those paddles are dragging that manure down. That manure then gets sprayed with water, and it goes into a chute, and it runs out and goes into a big open pond. And then they can pump it out and spray it on the fields instead of it being solid manure. Well, my grandpa's barn was, he wasn't shy to spend money on things that would work, you know. Well, he worked the farm after my three uncles had grown up and gone their own ways and were out on their own. They weren't there to help anymore. It was just him, and he still had cows in the barn at the time. So he installed a manure cart. Well, now these manure carts, what you had is you had a cable that ran from one end of that barn all the way down the middle of that barn and out the big doors at the end, going out those doors, and that cable went up to the top of this big pole, way the heck out there away from the barn, probably a good 100, 150 feet from the barn. Well, the way it was rigged up is that cart, you could push that cart. It looked like a giant bathtub almost, you know, and it had wheels on it, and it rode on that cable. And you could push that cart down the length of that barn, right out them doors, and it would go. It had a rope that went out to a pulley and came back, and you could push it out there and take that rope, and you could pull that cart all the way out to that pole. And when it would hit the pole, it released this lever, and the cart would flip upside down, and it'd dump all the manure right there. And you just let go of the rope, and that thing would come down that cable and come rolling right back in the barn. Fill it up again, shove her back out, take the rope, pull it out, dump it, and it come rolling back in again. And that cart would, when it get back to the barn, you just grabbed one edge of it and give it a pull, and it would flip over and lock right in place. Pretty neat machine for getting all that cow crap out the door. The manure cart. Well, you don't put a 7-year-old Sty in a barn with a manure cart without his gears start turning. Look at that thing. This barn is 150 feet long. That cart goes out the door another 150 feet. That's a 300-foot carnival ride if I ever seen one, man. I can get in that cart, and all I need is somebody to push, right? Well, that summer, my cousin from Texas got to stay on the farm for a month. I was there for 2 months, and he showed up. They dropped him off. He's going to stay for a couple of months, or for a month. And he asked me, what have you been doing? Have you been bored? Blah, blah. I said, oh, you don't have to get bored on the farm. There's always something to get in trouble for, you know? And he says to me, he says, but I don't think you got anything really exciting and new. I said, I sure do. Well, now this boy's still in his traveling clothes. They had just dropped him off same day, you know? He's all dressed nice. He's wearing a white shirt, and kind of dress slacks, and his they look like Sunday go to meeting shoes, you know. And I said, come with me, and off we went to the barn. Well, here I am wearing overalls and a tore up t-shirt and barefoot. You know, I'm on the farm, man. I take him down to the barn, and I said, look at this thing. And he goes, well, what the hell is that? I said, it's a manure cart. Grandpa had it put in last year after I had left the farm. And he says, that's a neat looking thing. What's it do? And I explained to him, and he walked over and he's looking and he goes, oh, that thing's nasty. I said, well, yeah, it's hauling cow shit out the barn every day. It's always got fresh cow shit in it. And he says, so what's so fun about this thing? I wanted to be the first one to take a ride in it, right? So, but I thought, if I take a ride in this, he ain't going to do it. He won't do it if I go first. So I told him, I'm going to do you a favor, man. You get to try this first. And I said, just a second. I went and there was this board, this little square plank board. And I brought that over and I set it down in that manure cart. Well, that manure cart's got crap all over in it. And there's still some on the bottom of it. And he goes, what's that board for? I said, you're getting up, and I grabbed a milking stool and set it there. I said, get up on the stool. He gets up there and he goes, now what? I said, get in there and sit on that board. I said, you're going to take a ride of your life, man. You're going to love this. I didn't explain to him that when it gets to the end, that it automatically is going to flip over. I got behind that cart and I ran the full length of that barn, shoving that cart. And that boy comes flying out the ass end of that barn, and he's screaming like a little girl all the way out to the end of that pole. That cart hits the end of the pole, flips his ass upside down. He goes head first into about 6 months of cow shit piled out there. And it's a good 15 feet from that cart to that pile. The kid fell, he's all arms and legs going through the air, and you could hear it. It's just like they dubbed it in, but it was real life. You could hear him splat on all that wet manure out there. He crawls off that manure pile, and I'm pulling the cart back with the rope. He gets up to the barn. Oh God, he was pissed off. He was pissed off. He untucks his shirt, and I just laughed because, man, what was tucked in his pants, and boy, did that have a contrast compared to the rest of his shirt. It looked like he was wearing a crisp white apron. Because all the rest of them was cow shit colored. He takes the tail and the bottom of his shirt and he's wiping his face off because he had cow shit all over his face. And then he's standing there scowling at me. And I'm like, well, what's the matter? He goes, you're next. I said, you're damn right I'm next. I wanted to go first, but I didn't think you'd do it unless I got you to try it once. And it worked. He says, you son of a bitch, I know I'm in trouble. I'm going to be in such trouble. I said, nah. Grandma won't care. It wasn't Grandma that you were going to get in trouble. I got in that thing. The hell with the board fell out with him. The hell with the board. I got in there, sat right in the cow shit. Who cares? You know, I'm wearing farm clothes, man. These are my barn clothes anyway. You never come in the house with them suckers. You take them out on that back little porch and they hang there. You didn't smell barn in the house. You smelled it out that porch, but you didn't get that stinking house. That's what Grandma would tear you up. So I figured, no big deal. It's my farm close. I jump in there and he pushed me out that thing. I was laughing so damn hard. It got to the pole and it stopped just before the pole. I was so pissed off. I yelled at him, grab that rope. And you pull that rope until the cart hits the pole. So finally he got a hold of the rope and he pulled it. Cart hit the pole and there we go. Flipped me right the hell out of there, landed a pile of shit. We rode that manure cart until the cows started showing up to the barn to get their evening milking. The only problem was, is guess who comes with the cows? Grandpa. My grandfather walks in the barn, and thank God, when he walked in, it was Jimmy's turn, and he was in the shit cart, and I go running by, and there's a side door in the barn that comes right between the cows, 20 on this side, 20 on that side, and a little aisle going out to the center. And here comes Grandpa walking out of that aisle as I go running past and pushing that shit cart with my cousin in there yelling, faster, faster, faster. I just kept going because I figured, why stop, you know? Off he went. He hit the pole. He flopped over. While he's flopping into the shit pile, I'm standing there looking up at my grandpa and I go, he made me do it. You always want to be the first one confronted. My grandpa goes, so he made you do it. How did he make you do it? I said, well, Grandpa, let's put it this way. He's the first one to do it. He was the first one to ride out there in that cart. Not me. I wasn't going to ride in that damn cart, but then he took the first ride out in that cart, and I said, and then he told me, well, I did it. You have to do it. So I did. I said, I'm sorry, Grandpa. I don't know how sorry that little monster is, but I'm sorry. So my whooping was just a little less as hard as his. But I'll tell you what, I've been on so many carnival rides throughout my life. The best one ever was that manure cart in my grandpa's barn back in the early 1960s. I would, if that, like I had said earlier, if that cart and that barn was in use and full of cows, still existed standing there today, and I could get there, I'd pay somebody to push me in that cart. I'd go for another ride in that son of a bitch, because it stuck with me. The smell. I was cleaning that out of my nails for days. But it's stuck in the heart, man. That is true, dirty, clean fun. I wish every kid could experience a ride in the manure cart. So there you go, guys. There's your Sty story for this week. And we're going to bring Phil back up here with me. There we go. And
why am I not surprised?
Oh, you aren't?
Not at all. No. Yeah, sounds exactly like something you do.
Oh, I'm not kidding when I say that it was a blast, and to me, it's a precious memory. That it was such unusual, thrilling, a little scary kind of fun that and you know what? I couldn't get either one of my sisters to do it. I couldn't get my brother to do it. I couldn't get anybody to do it after that. But I did after that first day though. Man, I bet you we spent 3 hours riding that cart before we got caught. But after that first day, the times I was in the cart weren't as fun because I'd get in the cart and I'd have to pull myself out there with the rope.
No.
I didn't have anybody to push me. So I got smart one day and and it worked. I was surprised, but he didn't behave like he should. They had a calf that I took this calf, this little Holstein calf, and I walk him down, tie him to that rope, because that rope started, the end of it was at the barn doors. And if you pull it all the way to the back of the barn, the cart hits that pole by the time you get to the back of the barn with it. So I put a noose on that. And I took that little Holstein calf down there and I put it around that calf, and it just stood there with this rope around his neck. I went down to the other end and I filled one of the milk bottles you use to feed these calves. Filled one of those and I'm shaking it, showing it to him. He gets real interested, and the manure cart's not far from me. I set that bottle on the floor and I jumped in the manure cart. Sure as shit, here come that calf running down the length of the barn for that bottle, and he hauled my ass out the door. So I had about 5-6 rides with the calf, and sometimes he will, yeah, you know, he would get full after a while, so he didn't pull as good, you know. That was the only problem. I should have set that bottle up where he couldn't drink out of it, you know, because by the time I get out of the manure pile, get back in there, he'd have half that bottle drank. So I only got maybe 5-6 rides from him, and he was full. But the Sindaloo. Cow poo. It's the smell of money, my granddaddy'd say. That's it. That's what my granddad always said. If you said anything on the farm was gross and stunk, he'd say, oh yeah, all you're looking at and smelling is money. Yeah.
Yep. We had a pig farm we used to have to drive by on my way to my mother-in-law's that stunk to high heaven all summer long. That was like the worst. But yeah, it's exactly what those people don't smell that. They smell money.
That's it.
It's something they become immune to. And
hi.
So what's up, Heike?
What's
up, Raven?
74.
I mean, there's a lot of those things. I mean, if you're an egg farmer, you smell chickens. If you got any kind of livestock, anything that you're making any money off of like that, you definitely have, you know, an animal manure smell. And it's not the animals, it's their shit, because they shit a lot.
Right. Now, pigs actually, and I raised a few. Actually, pigs, if you don't have them in large numbers, confined, pigs don't stink.
No.
I had a single dairy cow, I had a beef steer, and a couple of horses, and a couple of pigs, all in the same barn. If you keep the cows, actually will stink the barn up worse than the pigs do, even though you're cleaning it out. But the pig pen, I clean it out every second day. I go and clean it out. If you put two pigs in a stall in a barn, and that stall's at least 12 by 12 feet, and you put the feed trough and water trough in one corner, and you throw bedding down, you watch what those pigs will do. They'll eat, they'll go to a corner, and they'll push all that bedding into that corner that they can. They just keep pushing it with their snouts, and it's like they build a damn nest. At the farthest corner away from them, they'll go over there and shit and piss. So when you clean their stall, 90% of the time, all you had to do is clean one corner out.
It's not bad.
And what they crap out in a day or two, if you only have a couple of them, it's hardly anything. It's not that much. And you don't get that pig stink. But the guy that I got my farm from, who lived next door, he had one of the biggest pig operations we had in that region. You know, he's feeder pigs. When he's after they're brooding, they get all the feeder pigs, and they go into the feeder pig sheds. His feeder pig sheds were 120 wide, 460 feet long. And you'd look in there, and it was solid pigs. All you saw were all these little feeder pigs. The whole thing's full. And
Bacon.
yeah. And then as they're growing, they separate them out. After a certain size, they break them out into groups, into other buildings, and on and on. But everywhere, all the way from the little piglets right up to the ready to go to market pigs, are all congested into an area that not even a tenth of those pigs, if you want to keep the stink down, should be in that area. And he had wet tanks for the pig shit. And the way they got rid of their pig shit was they used a bobcat. They go in and they just drive around in there with them pigs, and they're just scooping all that pig shit, scraping the floor and dumping it over the rails. And then they come out and they move that big pile out and dump it in a big wet tank. And then that wet tank on a hot, humid day really lights up your sinuses. But when they pump that sucker and start spraying it on their fields in the fall, because they spray it on late season after all the harvest is done, so that it doesn't, because they can't put it on just before they plant, because especially with corn, if you sprayed that pig shit and you planted corn on top of that, it's going to burn the seed. It's just way too strong. So they put it on, they spray that on the fields throughout the first half of the winter. And that's what I hated. Beautiful, pristine snow scene. And the next day you go, oh my God, they sprayed 600 acres with pig shit. Yeah, you see all this beautiful snow and then a 600-acre patch covered with pig shit. And Merry frickin' Christmas. I mean, and he was pure farmer. Our first year in that house, I had to approach him and say, hey, I don't care if you're going to spread it at least a week before the holidays. Don't spread it just a day or two before Christmas Eve, for God's sakes. You know, I live on a farm. I don't mind the smell, but my whole damn family is city folk, town folk, and they come out to the farm for the holidays. It's killing them. It's killing them.
Well, pig's pretty bad in comparison to cow. Cow is not as bad as pig. I think chicken can be pretty like cat piss, or very a lot of ammonia smell.
Ammonia smell with chickens. You got to watch chickens, because there's a couple of diseases you can get from a hen house that isn't being kept properly clean, because chicken shit is nasty. But then chickens are nasty. I love this. I got friends that they won't eat anything but a free range chicken.
Well, because they got to be able to walk around to lay eggs as opposed to being pinned in a thing to lay.
Yeah. If it's not a free range egg, if it's not a free range chicken that you're frying up for dinner. And I told them, I said, all my chickens were always in a coop, and they had a chicken yard with fence all the way around and on top.
That's free range.
I said, for good reason. And it wasn't that big of an area, so there was no freaking grass growing and where the fence was or not. I said, it's just a chicken yard, and everything they were given to eat, for the most part, I gave to them to eat. You free range a chicken, you watch that bugger. He'll eat anything he sees, and he'll even eat other animals' crap. He'll go over to the cow crap and pick the worms and stuff out of it. And bugs, they're insane over any kind of bug. They didn't care what bug it was. Chickens are insane when it comes to eating naturally. And one thing a lot of people don't understand, if the food supply gets a little thin, guess what a chicken eats? His buddy.
There you go.
If you're raising chickens, even free range or not, if they're not getting enough feed, you can tell right away, because all of a sudden you notice a few of the chickens got bare butts. All of a sudden, all of their feathers are missing around their butt, and their tails are bloody. Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Get those bloody chickens the hell out of there and give them extra feed, because they start eating each other if they don't have enough feed to satisfy them. And a lot of the chickens nowadays, I raised broilers, them suckers, from being tiny little chicks to being a 6 to 8 pound broiler. I'd have them to 6 to 8 pounds in about 3 months. From a tiny little chick to a stick a net sucker in the oven. I mean, they weren't fryers. They were too damn big to be fryers. They grow so damn fast and so big. But oh my God, the feed you got to put in those chickens. Because the minute you can't let them run out of feed, not even for 12 hours, because they will cannibalize each other if they realize there's no food left. They'll pick on the weak ones, and they'll start pecking on them. And next thing you know, they kill one, and that's it, man. Now, good luck, because once they become cannibalized, chickens don't like to change back to eating just feed.
Well, no, they're eating chicken. Chicken's good.
Yeah, they love chicken just as much as we do. I mean, and people tell me, those poor chickens, you eating all them chickens. I said, them little bastards eat each other. What the hell? Should I feel guilty? At least the ones I eat, it's whack, they're dead. Those other ones, they're getting eaten alive by their own family. I mean, come on, you know. Yep.
Well, it's not like we're going out in the wild and killing chickens. I mean, I can't remember the last time I saw a chicken in the wild.
I've always, I gotta watch it. I got a documentary that I got saved on Prime, I think it is. I gotta watch that, the origin of the chicken, and it goes through the whole history of the chicken. How did we end up with all these chickens that we got today? And all the different types of chickens. And is it because those weird, colorful ones, like the bantams, are those actual wild chickens, but we got them in captivity? Or what? Actually, no, those aren't even true wild chickens. There ain't been a wild, actual, living in the wild chicken. The closest that I have come to that I can put a tag of wild chicken on is the prairie hen. North America's got a lot out in the prairies, has a lot of prairie hens, and they look like a chicken. They look more like a very overweight grouse, but they are a chicken. It's like the wild turkey, Only hunters eat wild turkey. You can't go to the grocery store and say, oh, well, why aren't there any wild turkeys? No. That ain't the way it works. But to me, wild chicken is partridge, grouse, quail, pheasants. Those are wild chickens. That's a wild chicken. Domestic chickens are nasty. Running Water is saying, does it make much or take much for chickens to show their dinosaur roots? Yeah. That's it. I mean, and it's crazy when you look into it. Chickens and turkeys are raptors. They're of the raptor family. And what part of that raptor family are they? The vultures. They're a vulture. Now think about it. The chicken is less of a vulture than the turkey is. All right. I got in big trouble. I'll explain that in a minute. There's a Sty story for you that's a freebie, but look at a turkey. You notice He's got that ugly ass bald head all the way down to his shoulders. His whole neck and his head, it's all nasty, bald, ugly looking. What other bird looks like that? A vulture.
No,
This
bird.
old bird don't look that way.
I wasn't implying that. Take that hat off.
Hey, watch it.
Exactly.
Fucking vulture. but yeah, turkeys are of the vulture family. So what did you have for Thanksgiving, vulture?
Vulture.
Yeah. Yeah, God, I got such a big family. I had to go out and shoot a condor. You know? Oh, darn it.
Yeah, we can get wild turkeys where I'm at if we wanted to. We get them that goes through the end of our property along the tree line where the deer go. I mean, we could have venison in the refrigerator or in the freezer if we wanted to. So
yeah. And here, where I'm living up here in northern Wisconsin, the wild turkey population has gone wild. I mean, yeah, you'll see flocks of 35, 40 birds sometimes crossing the highway. Yeah, there's so many of them now. And it's funny because wild turkeys aren't dumb birds. Try turkey hunting and get to know avid turkey hunters. You talk about an animal people bitch about that it's so hard to get. The seasons are short. The limit is tough. You can't shoot a hen. You got to shoot a tom. All these rules, and you sit out there in the worst time of the year. It's fucking rain, freezing rain, freezing rain, colder than shit, nasty, and you're all in camo, and you're out there with your shotgun with your fingers froze to it for hours upon hours, and you can hear them gobblers going through the woods around you. You never get to see one. They sons of bitches. And they're so wise. I sat in a blind. You shouldn't be able to see anybody in that blind. All camoed out. I was using camo paint on the face, everything. You couldn't see me in that blind. I'm sitting there, and here comes 5 birds walking by, 4 hens and a big tom. I was like, yes, I'm going to get that tom. All I did was lift my shotgun up like this, and my shotgun's totally camoed. I lifted up, just that little bit of action. That tom let out a gobble, and them hens went all different directions, and that tom took off like a rocket. How in the hell did he know I was there? They're smart, man. They are so, and they hear good and they see good.
you know the dumbest animals are those damn deer because they like to hop right out in front of cars.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it pisses me off. I've only hit like 4 deer in my life on the highway, but every one that I hit, there were no deer crossing signs anywhere.
Right?
They were where there were no deer crossing signs. I see deer crossing signs all over the place, but where I hit them, there was no crossing signs. And I told game wardens a dozen times, you're stupid putting those no deer crossing signs up there, because the fucking deer don't read. So they're going to cross wherever the hell they want anyway.
There you go.
Yeah, I've seen them cross with the deer crossing sign right there next to them as they're crossing. It's like, whoa, no. That sign says you're not supposed to cross here. No deer crossing.
Jaywalking deer.
Yeah. So you deserve to get hit or shot, one of the two. The last deer I hit, it pissed me off. I hit that deer, and I hit him good. I managed to hit him in the head with the front of my truck. Didn't damage my truck too bad. Probably about maybe $200-300 worth of damage total. But it didn't mess up the deer. It just killed him dead fast. Boom, he was dead the second he hit the ground. And I thought, yes. I pulled over and I'm going, at least the damages, I get some meat with it, you know. I pulled that deer down in the ditch line, field dressed it, got on my cell phone, called the local PD, and told them come on out. Because here in Wisconsin, you can claim a roadkill that you hit if you call the local sheriff's department and or the DNR, and they give you a tag for it. And yeah, you can have it. Don't cost you nothing. You don't have to pay for the tag or nothing. This cop shows up and he goes, how much damage to your vehicle? I said, less than $500 doesn't have to be reported. He goes, okay. And he goes, well, then you're good. You can get out of here. I said, after I get that deer in the back, in the trunk or in the box of the truck. And he goes, oh, no, I've got someone on their way. They're going to pick that deer up. I said, no, you don't. I hit that sumbitch. He damaged my truck. I'm taking him with me. Well, then he called the DNR and told them, I need one of your deputies out here. DNR showed up, and here comes a sheriff's deputy. Well, now I'm feeling better. I got local PD, sheriff's deputy, and the DNR there. And I know the rules. I can have that deer. Well, the guy from the DNR took the cop's side and says, well, no, if he's already got somebody that put claim on the deer, you're going to have to allow that person, to take it. And I said, well, I ain't going for that. The deputy sheriff's saying, no, I agree with Sty. You know, we're told the rule is whoever hit the deer, they can take claim of that deer, and we just give them a tag. Other people can't show up and take it away from him. He's got first choice. Well, that cop and the DNR guy said, no, we don't agree. And finally, I told the guy from the DNR, I said, fine, if I don't get to take the deer, then you're paying the damages. I said, I want your insurance information. And he goes, what the hell are you talking about? I said, obviously, that's not my deer. He goes, well, you're absolutely right. That deer belongs to the state of Wisconsin. And I go, exactly. I looked at him and that cop, and I said, somebody's got to pay for the damages on my truck. That frickin' deer you own fucked my truck up. I said, I didn't. That deer hit me. Prove it didn't. That deer hit me. And it's your deer. You're going to pay the damn damages then. I said, that's going to cost me $250, $300 to get that fixed. I said, pony it up. Pony it up. You insist you own that deer. Then if it goes and damages a person, then damn it, you're liable for it. Keep your deer on a frickin' leash, man. What's the matter with you? The deputy sheriff loved it. And he told the guy from the DNR, he says, are you starting to change your mind that maybe he should go ahead and take the deer? That deputy, we were acquainted. And he goes, I got a gut feeling Sty's going to be tomorrow. He's going to be up at the courthouse filing a suit against the Wisconsin DNR. And I'll have to get on the witness stand and tell him, yes, the DNR officer insisted that deer belongs to the state of Wisconsin, not to the people. So he said, if you know Judge Gallagher, if he's in a bad mood that day, the DNR is going to be paying for the repairs on his truck. He looked at that local cop and he says, just get in your rig and go back to town. He's taking the deer. And he turned and got in his truck. They all three drove off. And I'm like, I get the deer.
There you go.
God, I guess it doesn't belong to the DNR. You know, all of a sudden, yeah, you can take that deer. Either it does belong to him and he changed his mind and gifted it to me, Otherwise, no, it didn't belong to him, and he didn't want to go to court and find out he was lying when he said it's my deer. Fucker, stupid. The I got to see what you guys have been.
Well, I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna give you a share here real quick.
Are you?
Yep.
The
Damn it.
I see all of those.
Well, my wife went deer hunting about a month ago.
Oh, that's your truck.
Yeah, and she decided. Well, it's my wife's truck. We have 2 Tacomas.
Oh, that's right.
And she took this one deer hunting. This is a newer one.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Actually,
one.
Actually, that it looks to me like that was a pretty good hunting truck.
Can you see it? There you go. You can see it now. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, look at that. Look at the driver's side bumper and fender there.
Yep.
Kapow!
Yeah, that fender's got to I'm not sure that the hood's going to have to be. It's hard to tell. But the front grille, front bumper, that corner panel, that's all got to be redone. So
yeah.
They give it an initial estimate of $2,700.
Yep.
So,
it's amazing. It's amazing the damage.
Once they start tearing that stuff down, a lot of times they'll find other things underneath that. They have to do addendums to the estimate. So
right. See, now look at your truck. Now I had a almost brand new Cadillac Eldorado I hit a deer with, and it was on the opposite side, on the passenger side, but that's what it looked like, all shattered like that in the corner, and otherwise, well, and the headlight was busted on the Cadillac, and the I took that sucker in for an estimate $7,200.
Holy mackerel!
Because oddly enough, where it shattered the grill, the corner of the grill, a piece of that grill, boom, went and speared through the goddamn air conditioning coil and pierced the goddamn radiator. And and the oil cooler panel, that got it too. Those 3 items right there, that was $3,000 just for those 3 items to repair them. And then the front clip parts, it was just a fender. The hood didn't get damaged or nothing. And then the bumper and the grill panel. But it was those 3 little components in there that got nicked by shit.
Yep.
All of a sudden, almost $10,000. And my ex-wife thought, well, it was smart to say to me, well, at least, because I bought that Cadillac for her. I just happened to be driving it when I hit the fucking deer. But and she goes, well, at least you bought a used Cadillac. I said, the son of a bitch was 6 months old. Do you know how unused that is? And for what I paid for it, yeah, I paid a lot less than original SRP for it, but it still was so depreciated, but still with what I paid for it, your Cadillac just turned into about a $46,000 car. I paid $36,000 for it. It was worth about $45,000 at the time. So I felt I did real good.
Yeah, I mean, we turned a profit. All right.
Until I hit that fucking deer.
Yeah. Shot
that profit all to shit. And yeah, all of a sudden I've got a ugly looking car that's why you need a critter catcher. Running Water's little truck. He's got a little Ford Ranger, and he bought that thing last year. And I had only seen it once. He come out to camp with it one time trip. Well, now that I'm living here, and that was back in
you're at his place now?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
I will be the last week of December. I'll be moving into his place the last week of December.
He says, now that I'm living here, I'm like
that. Okay. So my truck breaks down over at his house. And I was in a night. It was a nightmare. I think I told everybody about it. You know, I locked Running Water's truck keys in his truck. He had me go get his high-end camera out of his truck and go put it safely in the house. I'm being the nice guy that I try to be. I try to be as nice as Running Water, you know. So I go out there and I get his camera, slam the door shut. I lock the doors and slam the door shut, and then realize there's his truck keys inside the truck. So his truck's locked shut. Son of a bitch. And I said, nah, it don't get used anyway until he comes in home from on the road. He won't be home until Christmas time. It can just sit there, and he's got an extra key fob and blah, blah, blah. Well, then after talking to him, I'm sitting in my truck bullshitting with him on the phone. And I go, it's getting cold in here, man. I got to start the truck. Click, 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 click. Fucking my truck won't start. Won't even turn over. And he goes, well, you can use my truck. I said, you forgot. Your keys are locked in your fucking truck. My truck, I got all the keys in the world, but it won't start. So I had to walk home. It's about 10 blocks, 10 blocks. And it was cold, blowing like a son of a gun. And I was dressed to just run to the corner and back kind of thing. I wasn't dressed to be outdoors. I froze my ass off. And so while I'm trying to get my truck fixed, Running Water said, well, you just go ahead and use my truck. Because I had my youngest boy run me to the L&M Fleet and Supply, and I went in there and bought a couple of nice big long wood wedges, you know, splitting wedges, the poly ones, the plastic ones. Went over there and pop, got that door just open just right, stuck a metal rod in there, and click, click. I'm in the Running Water's truck. I got his keys. So I've been using Running Water's truck, and he says, yeah, now you can take your sweet time, get your truck fixed, and it's going to work out, because the week of the 15th of December, I'm going to be putting a new starter in my truck, and I'll have my truck back up and running, and have his truck back over at the house, and it'll be sitting there waiting for him when he gets home, and I'll be back in the King Ranch again. But that's a son of a bitch. I mean, I wanted to make sure I didn't miss a thing, so I pulled the fuse box, and I'm looking at all the fuses. Pulled the manual, going through ignition related, starter related. Got my list, headed right to O'Reilly's, and I said, I need these relays and these fuses, all of them. And he goes, they all burned out? I said, I don't know which one fried, but I'm hoping it's one of these. It's everything related to ignition or starting. So if it's that from that panel, I got it covered. Well, that cost me $25. That wasn't bad. So I got a bag full of fuses and relays, and I watched every possible video. I talked to 2 local mechanics. One's a GM master mechanic, and he does a lot of other brand work at home. He says, don't ever let the shop know that I'm moonlighting. He says, especially on all the Fords and Dodges and shit. And he told me, he says, man, you did everything you could. The only thing left, I said, the only thing left, if I'm right, is it's a solenoid or the starter. He says, it don't matter whether it's the solenoid or the starter. Either one of those, you got to replace starter. I go, what? And he goes, guess what? That 2005 Ford doesn't have the nice little solenoid bolted to the firewall anymore. He says, it's integrated to the starter just like a GM is. Oh, you son of a bitch. He says, yeah, you don't replace the solenoids on a Ford starter. You just buy a starter. So, yeah, I priced the starter, and this month ended up a little tight. I got a couple of extra expenses this month. So I decided I'll wait until Social Security payday on the 15th of December get my starter and throw it in there. so yeah, 16th, 17th, depending. It don't matter what the weather is. I'm going to go do it because I got my truck up to the front of our shed. Now I can say our shed because running water and I live together. Got it nose up to the shed. He's got a nice kerosene heater. That's big son of a bitch. And I got a big ass tarp. It's going over the front half of that truck right to the shed entrance, setting up the kerosene heater under the tarp there. Tarp will be with the hood open. That's how high the tarp will be. And I'll heat that whole son of a bitch up, get the engine compartment and everything warmed up. And it should take me an hour to swap out a starter on it. I figure it'll take me, it's really a 15-minute job, but it's going to take an hour because I like to do things the easy way. I jack that bitch up, get it on stands, and I'm pulling that passenger side tire off. And now I can just about crawl under there on my knees and take that starter off. And nothing in my way, no tire in the way or nothing. So that adds 45 minutes to the job, putting the tire, taking tire off, putting tire on, jacking the son of a bitch up nice and high. But, hey, Yoren's in the house.
What's up, Yoren?
Yeah, TM saying getting close to move. We would need to have a. I don't like that one. I'm having trouble seeing these fuckers. I can't wait. That's an update, man. That's an update that it's going to be sweet. Days till move to running water's place countdown. Oh yeah. Well, we don't have a fixed day that we're going to haul the last of my shit out of here right to his place, but I can put you real close. It'll be sometime between December 27th and December 30th. So that's 4 days there. It'll be within that 4-day window. That's a definite. And I'm working with my landlord here. Sounds like they're going to, in the lease, it says that, okay, if I want to move, in the lease, what's considered an appropriate notice to vacate per the lease is if I'm going to vacate, if they can get in this apartment 1 day prior to the first of the month, then I don't have to pay that next month, right? If I'm out of this apartment and they don't have the keys returned to them and signed out, they sign them back out, they give you a receipt for them. If I don't have that receipt for those keys until the first day of the month, I have to pay that month's rent. Well, they said they don't enforce that part of the lease, which freaking surprises me because they keep trying to enforce every other damn thing they can dream up. But they said, no. They said, when you get close enough to your move date, if you're certain you're going to be completely out of there and can return your keys, and it ends up being the middle of the first week of January, we'll only charge you prorated for those days, not for the whole month. I said, well, that's cool. They said, as long as it's 30 days, it has to be 30 days out from when you give us that notice. You got to give us 30-day notice. And I said, why do you really need that? I said, you got people lined up for half a mile to get one of these apartments. So it's not like you aren't going to be able to put somebody right in the damn thing. I said, and second of all, you're going to sit there for 30 days knowing that I'm moving. That's all. Because you ain't getting in this damn place till I'm out. No more inspections, no more surprise visits, none of that shit. You get to come in here when I turn the keys over. You can come in here and do your final inspection. And I'll enjoy that because I'm videotaping every square inch of this damn place. That's there he is. He's back in the dark.
Look, Travis.
Yeah, but the lamp got put away. I'll see if I can shed some light on my not so brilliant subject.
Ha ha ha.
Sty, give me a moment. I'll be back.
Yes, sir.
I had to run off. Caden was stranded. His car wouldn't start.
That's what you were saying.
You know, when you're a teenager and you're driving $800 cars, sometimes they don't start very well.
Yeah, it's par for the course, right? Hey, Yoran, hope you start feeling better, brother. Yeah,
That's a little better.
yeah.
I don't feel like going and getting the big lamp.
You know, at least we know you're there.
No, I got halfway to Glidden and I called him and said, "Have you tried planting your boot?" And he said, "No." I said, Go plant your boot and see if it'll start."
Uh-huh.
He floored it, turned it over, and it popped right off. Those goofy injected cars, sometimes they get flooded and you got to plant your boot to get them to start.
Yeah. Well, you even got to do that with the old throated standard car.
Yeah.
You know, you got to open her up so it's basically open its airway. It needs air.
Let it breathe.
And that's the thing too, is if you got your engine properly tuned, oh man, I had that issue with the ladies in my household, but they finally learned. You get in that vehicle, turn the ignition on, start the vehicle, and keep your feet planted flat on the damn floor.
Yeah, don't touch anything.
Don't put your foot on anything unless it's one of our vehicles where you have to depress the brake because it's got a stinking ignition actuator in the brake system. Never touch that gas pedal. Let the vehicle start. Then, if you want to rev it a little to warm it up faster or something, fine. But don't. If I find out you put your foot on that damn gas pedal and you haven't even turned the damn key yet, I'm going to wring your damn neck.
Yeah, well, in this case, that's exactly what I told him to do, though, is plant your boot, then try to start it.
Well, no, but that was after the fact.
Yeah,
you know, already. So that was good advice. That's what I would have to do is when they come in and they go, "Oh, well, it kind of fired, but it just can't. Now it just cranks. It won't start." I go out there, plant the boot, and boom, off she goes.
Yep. Well,
and they go, "Well, how'd you do that?"
It's still not starting right, but
yeah,
you know, it's a 2003 with 230,000 miles on it.
Hey, bee lady, they're not sad that I'm leaving. They're glad. The word got out now, and now a lot of the residents are sad. They're going, "Oh, Sty, you're leaving us, man." and some of them I've become quite good friends, you know, and I told them, "Don't sweat it. I'm only 8 blocks away. I'll stop by. I'll catch you guys outside, you know, out at our little shack out here." I said, "I'll come and visit maybe once a week or something. I'm just 8 blocks down the road, and I got to come by here to go to the post office anyway." And they're a little better okay with that, you know. But management, they heard through the grapevine. We heard Sty's moving. It's no ifs, ands, or buts. Sty's moving. Well, I never told anybody it was carved in stone until just a couple days ago. Well, management, they approached me right away. I said, "Did we hear right? You're moving?" I said, "Yeah, I'm moving. Can't pass it up. It's a better deal than here." And they go, all they were concerned about was that they had enough notice so they can get in the minute I turn my keys in. They can get in and turn the apartment over because they got this huge waiting list. Right now, there's over 100 people on their waiting list to get an apartment in this building. And there's 82 apartments, and nobody's moving out right now. this is a bad time of year because people don't move out of these kind of buildings in the winter. They move out of here in the spring. That's what they do. And they move in the fall. That's when they like to move in. So people, they wait all winter to get an opening, you know. So yeah, they want rid of me.
Yeah.
Because I'm a certified, registered, not just certed, but I'm registered with the federal government as a certified public and Indian housing authority director of 500 plus units. So for a housing authority the size of this one, I think they've got a total of 380 units. What a walk in the park to manage this outfit. I mean, I actually applied and was second choice. Man, that sucked. It was just that close. But then actually later I was glad. I was glad I didn't land the position. But I applied to be the housing director, the executive director of the Minneapolis Housing Authority. 5,380 units of rentals. Can you imagine? You were the bad guy to 5,000 plus low income, elderly, handicapped tenants that really like to bitch. 5,000 of them. Yeah. Wow. But I got the certification, the training, background. I even had the experience. I had been executive director for 2 different housing authorities prior to that. And they were so close to hiring me. And I asked them actually, because the person they hired beat me out because they had experience with a housing authority that had about 4,000 units for 2 years, I guess. They had worked, and I can't remember what city they were in. And that's why they picked them over me. And 2 of their board of directors for that housing authority, Minneapolis Housing Authority, they wanted me, man. They come right out and said, we voted against that other person. We wanted you. And I said, it would really help me if I knew why. They said, your grant writing history is to die for. They said, we've got such issues with the Minneapolis Housing Authority. We've got units that aren't even safe, sanitary, and decent for folks to live in, and we got people in them. You could get those financed for renovation projects and everything. And actually, the late Jack Camp, who was the secretary of HUD at the time, gave me a written recommendation to the Minneapolis Housing Authority. He was at the top dog in HUD. And he said, oh, yeah, hire him, man. He'll get you money. He'll get you all kinds of money. Yeah. Oh, well, but I'm glad, because that would have meant I would have had to live in the Minneapolis metro area and work downtown all the time. And no, that's the only place worse than that would have been the Chicago Housing Authority.
Ooh.
Yep. Chicago tried to hire me a couple of times on a special consultation contract, and I said, nope. Well, come on, you don't have to be in touch with our tenants or nothing. And I said, no, I'm not coming down there in that hellhole to help you guys do nothing. My best recommendation to Chicago is tear down all of your tenement housing, go out to the suburbs, low population, and put in some row housing, single family units. Get out of this inner city goddamn tenement housing bullshit, because it's just unmanageable. It's a nightmare, because the federal government never going to give you enough money to hire your own fucking army to protect your property. But did you hear me saying, Travis? Running water kind of locked. Now we're getting closer to carved in stone.
Oh, are you?
Definitely moving on either the 27th, the 28th, 29th, or the 30th. It's got to be one of those 4 days.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm going to, between now and then, I'm going to be hauling little short loads of all the smaller stuff.
Well, I can tell you from my perspective, the 27th would be the best. Stephanie's off that day, and then I don't have to
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. If Running Water's watching, Running Water, can you put that in your calendar, pal? Because I will. 27th.
That would be the best for me because Stephanie is off that day.
That'd be very good for me, too. Very good for me because the 30th is a Thursday. The 27th is a Tuesday.
27th is a Monday.
Or a Monday. Sorry. Yeah. Is a Monday. I won't be doing any Sty times. I'll be doing Sty Story Sunday, but then that Monday, there'll be no Sty time. Tuesday is my YouTube day off. Wednesday, no Sty time. But if we move me on the 27th, I'll have my new studio as functional as I am right now tonight to do a Thursday night around the campfire, and I can kind of play with the new studio and show shit off, and it would be perfect for coming back because I'm only going to miss 2 streams that way.
Yeah, that's perfect.
It's perfect because if I got to move on Wednesday or Thursday, there's no way I'll be set up for Thursday night. But if I can move on a Monday, I got all day Tuesday, all day Wednesday, and half a Thursday to have my studio all put together. So it's awesome. It's awesome.
I'll put it in the calendar as a tentative until you give me a yes.
Yeah, I'm watching for Running Water to respond. We'll see. He's driving through the backwoods of Missouri right now, so his cell service comes and goes. And he said if he gets some dependable service, he'll pop up here. But I'll tell you what. Here's something. I don't know if you caught the techie stuff. Of course, you know that I got the Stream Deck.
Yep.
But guess what I got coming on the 6th of December? I got
hydrogen fuel cell generator.
Oh, yeah, don't I? But
I'm gonna guess you've got a big monitor coming.
That's close. That's close. I've got this 28-inch new monitor I got from my youngest son.
Right.
He had bought himself a nice curved 30-inch, and he had this 28-inch. He goes, I don't even know what the hell to do with it. I don't know where to get rid of that 28-inch. And he realized I was kind of drooling looking at it sitting there. And he goes, can you use that? Take it home with you. Oh, yeah. Off I went. Well, that's what I use now for streaming. I'm not using my 65 anymore. I got my 28-inch right here, just less than 2 feet away from me. It's great. But on the 6th of December, I've got 2 27-inch curved screens coming.
Oh, nice.
And I've got a studio monitor stand for 3 monitors that'll sit right in front of my studio, and all 3 monitors will sit up there in a horseshoe pattern right at eye level. I'll have all 3 of my monitors right there on their own independent stand. Everything will be cabled to the stand and not down, and to the power supplies and the HDMI cables, everything. And am I going to have fucking fun?
Sounds like it.
The only thing that isn't going to be fun is my 2 new monitors are going to show up on the 6th, but I won't be able to set them up till the 27th, after the 27th, because I'm not hauling them up here to the apartment and trying to use it. I'm just, in fact, they're being delivered right to Running Water. It's not here. Okay, we'll see you, B lady.
Bye, B lady.
But I have got I'm thrilled because the flat screen that I'm using, that's studio only. That's all that's going to be up there is studio. The screen on the left is all going to be the chat. Screen on the right is going to be peripheral programs. I'm thinking, now this is down the road for this program, but I'm going to start integrating OBS again. And that'll be on the extra monitor. That'll be running to the side of this monitor. And Facebook and all those peripheral programs will be running on that monitor, and I can toggle through those. But my studio's dead center. That's the core of a stream. But all of these things are all stream enhancements. Having the chat huge, big, right there. You can't miss that, right?
That's what I was doing tonight. I had the laptop off to the side with the chat just blown up huge that I could just look over and I didn't have to. What's that say?
That's what I got going on over here right now is my laptop running with the chat on it. Mm-hmm. But my eyes are giving me shit tonight again. I get my new glasses. It'll be a lot better.
Phil goes, I'm using my phone.
Well, I just got on my charging stand over here, and right now I'm full screen, so I don't have to look at the regular chat and have all the glare. What's up, running water?
Look at that guy. Look at that guy. Something tells me I should get to know that guy.
No.
Why? It's not like I'll be around.
Well, I tell you what. He's my absentee guardian angel. Yeah. Oh shit. Life would be okay, but not as good as it is if I didn't have that boy in the picture right now. Yeah.
How's it going, running water?
Oh, all right. I just parked. Deliver in the morning.
How far
are you
from?
Long week.
How far are you from your delivery point?
Oh, about 20 miles.
Oh, that's not too bad. Yeah.
Just down the road.
It down the road is not as if he ain't been down the road all day today.
Down the road for a piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, been dragging my butt for the last 7 days. Picked this load up last Monday.
Yeah.
Up in Idaho, and
you do what?
Yeah, a load of lumber that I picked up in Idaho.
Oh, Idaho. Idaho? I didn't know Idaho. Yeah.
And you're in Minnesota now?
Not Illinois.
Oh, Illinois.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
At least you said it right. Not Illinois.
I feel bad for you.
Hey, while you're in Illinois, can you pick me up one of those Chicago BCS ones that are exclusive to Chicago?
Oh, Jesus.
He's like, no.
No,
I don't go that close to Chicago.
Oh,
I like that place.
Well, I think they're exclusive to Illinois, to be honest with you. I don't know, but
to the state.
Yeah, but I would. That's my guess. Again, I'm not I can tell you what. I've spent way too much on BCS beers in the last 2 weeks. So,
hey guys, hold your hats. Don't anybody go anywhere. I have to do this every stream, of course. I gotta shout out my channel members. Okay, takes less than 1 minute, so don't go anywhere. Be here. I'm watching you guys.
We all have a story. We all have a tale. Well,
I was wondering about that.
I wasn't paying attention and I got a new mouse.
Obviously.
I had my video.
I was gonna say, when did the manure cart become a member?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, because I love that manure cart, man.
The manure
I tell you
cart,
what.
or the people that aren't members anymore, they're all in the manure cart. And then
These are my.
Then he shows the members.
I show the past members first. Yeah, haul them out in the manure cart. I'm working on a new Sty Story Sunday intro. Still got Sam's song, of course, but I'm looking, and I got 210 Sty stories right now, and 100. I can't remember how many it is. 100 and some that are live stream. Sty Story Sundays. The others are just Sty stories. But with 210 of them, I got. So what I did was I created a document with the titles of all those Sty stories, and I'm putting together an intro where the titles of those Sty stories are popping up in the library, coming from different corners and blah blah blah, and then partway through, then tonight's story pops up in the center. I think that's gonna be kind of cool. You see all the different Sty stories that have been told and shit. And you know, I did what I did this afternoon, Phil, just for you. I did a cognitive test. I went in there and looked at every single one of those 210 fucking stories to make sure I didn't duplicate a single one.
Why me? Why you single me out?
Because you're the one that seems to be the most concerned whether or not I got all my marbles or not. And my name is not Joe. It's not Joe. Yeah, Twisted Art Lady's in the house. Hey, Twisted Art Lady, it's so good to see you.
Yeah, Sam got out of the hospital the other night. So
Sam was
Twisted Art Lady, yes.
Right? Samantha.
Yeah. She just got out, so hopefully she's doing better. Hopefully she's feeling better.
Oh, I hope so. I didn't know she was in the hospital.
Yeah, her and her husband though did meet up with Micah, and his wife, and have dinner this evening. So hopefully she's feeling better.
Oh, okay. At least well enough to be able to do that. That in itself seems like kind of good news. Yeah,
it's always nice to meet other people, other friends on YouTube, in person.
It is.
Like you and Travis,
Travis and I were
that running water guy down there
running water guy. Actually, I see Travis as much, if not more, than I see that guy. That's no shit. Especially last year, it's terrible.
Now the question is, did Running Water actually hear the date?
Okay, no, that's it. Did you hear Travis and I talking about the move date?
No, but I was assuming we'd probably do it that Monday, just so that you've got a few days to get everything set up.
The 27th, yes.
That day works for me because Stephanie is off.
It works perfect for Travis. It works great for me because that gives me Tuesday, Wednesday, and half of Thursday to get my studio all worked out at the new house.
And then, that monitor mount should be there Tuesday along with the support plates. I ordered support plates to put in the clamp, to help stabilize the desk.
Yeah.
And then the monitors, it's saying the 2nd, so that would be Thursday.
Okay, now that's got a base that sits on the desk, not on the floor.
Right. Well, yeah, it's got a base. You have an option of it can clamp onto the back of the desk, or we can drill a hole and run the bolt through and then clamp it.
Jed,
so you got,
Jed.
He did say just. I was thinking the same thing. Jed, Granny,
Jed?
Clamp it?
Jed clamp it?
Yes.
Yeah. One day he was out shooting some food.
Yeah, yeah, but
And
yeah,
up-
it
Up
attaches
to
right
the
to the
ground
desk.
came a bubbling crude. Jed, clamp it to your desk.
Completely
Hey,
threw it.
hey, So God, I hope my studio desk. Yeah, it should. It should, because the monitors will be forward of the mount, so the weight will be thrown a little bit more into the desk.
Yeah. Well, if not, we can put together the desk I ordered. It's like an L desk and put it in the corner, and I'll just
Nope.
order another one for myself.
No. I do not want to forfeit my studio. I like my studio desk, and it's nice because that monitor sitting. Hey, quit playing that in the background. I don't want no copyright claims.
I figured
but
it was soft enough.
it wasn't. I heard it playing it. Well, and then too, it's stuck in my head. But my studio, that 28-inch monitor is sitting on an elevated monitor platform, right?
Mhm.
That is just bolted. It's got 2 clamps on the legs, and it's just bolted from the bottom to the desktop. So it just comes right off. It's easy to take off. And that's where that mount will go then, is right where that is. It'll slide right on there and bolt it on there. It'll be fine.
Yeah, because it got the mount, and then I ordered their plates that go on top and bottom. You know, they're metal plates with the rubber, like gasket in there.
That go on the surface of the desk and the bottom of the desk.
Underneath,
And then the
you
clamp is sandwiching the desk between those 2 plates.
Yeah, it's kind of like those support bracket or plate deals you put on like your front door, where the doorknob's at. Yeah,
where they slide over.
Yeah.
It'll work. It'll definitely work. That 27th is awesome, and it'll be easy to keep him informed, because I'm moving to his place. He's right now. Yeah. But Travis, I'll give you the starting time. Yeah. When we're going to
give me the starting time and let me know if I need to bring a trailer and a truck. Because I can bring a trailer too.
How big of a trailer you got?
4x8, or it's big enough for my 4-wheeler. I think it's either 4x8 or 6x8.
You got tonneau cover on your truck?
No.
Open box?
Open box.
Running water. Do we want to just use the trucks?
We could.
Because I could take all the shit out of my truck. I'll have to make a little room in the shop, but I can take all the shit out of my truck, put it in the shop.
The only thing I have on the box of my truck is my toolbox.
Yeah. And I'm thinking everything I've got, with 2 pickups and a trailer, we could haul it.
I can bring the trailer. It's no big deal.
We would possibly need to make a second trip, but
6 blocks, no big deal.
Yeah. And what we can do is we get this couch and the bed out and get that on the, I got a couch, a bed, and this one cabinet thing to throw in my truck, and I can run that to the dump. You guys can keep loading the trailer and the truck, and if you get done, you can take off and go start dropping. I'll meet you there or back here and
whatever.
Top my truck off with whatever's left or whatever. I think we could do it that way, and like you said, Travis, it's such a short turnaround back and forth that I figure start to finish, we got half a day max. 4 hours. 4 hours.
If I'm coming to Ashland, it better be a reasonable amount of time. If I'm coming to Ashland,
yeah.
Don't do this. Oh, you drove an hour up here. I only needed you for a half an hour stuff.
Yeah,
I'm hanging around for a couple of hours.
This will take 15 minutes. Ain't that great? Did you watch my Sty times on You
Which
have
one?
a truck.
No, I haven't watched that one yet.
Oh shit, don't.
Okay, I won't.
I'll feel just damn guilty if you watch that one and you hear me on there bitching about how people go, you have a truck?
It drives me nuts when people do that.
Because that tells you right there, you're hauling a bunch of shit. They're not going to put gas in your truck or buy you lunch. Them fuckers just want a free truck and your labor.
Yep.
You have a truck. And there's times in my past, and it pissed the ex-wife off a few times, where I tell her, well, I sold the truck. Well, why in the heck did you sell the truck? Because I'm tired of people saying, you have a truck. So I'm going to have nothing but a car, and it's going to be small.
And you get to be the one going, you got a truck.
And that's it. I turn it on them. So they get a little taste of their own medicines.
Oh, my mother-in-law did that to me, I think 2 or 3 weekends ago. I had to drive down to Wausau, pick up a truckload of stuff, and take it to her place over by Tomahawk.
Hey, Dr. Smith.
You know, it's only about 110 miles from my house to Wausau, so you figure, but between that and stopping in Tomahawk, it was 250 miles.
Yeah.
It gets 20 miles to the gallon if I'm lucky.
Yeah. Whiskey Nose, good to see you.
What's up, Marty?
Whenever I see Marty's channel, Whiskey Nose, I picture this old guy when I was growing up that lived in our neighborhood, and this guy was big, man. He was a monster. He was like 6'4", and he was huge. This guy, and he was an older fella. He had the biggest booze nose. You know what I'm talking about, booze nose, you know.
Yep.
He had the biggest booze nose in my whole 65 years I've ever seen. That was the biggest damn booze nose. And my dad, the local chief of police, I can remember he nicknamed him Whiskey Nose. You know, so whenever he talked about that old boy down the street, it was, oh yeah, did you see what Whiskey Nose is doing down there now? And hey, Whiskey Nose, and I had coffee the other day. He never called him by his name. It was Whiskey Nose. Hey, Jimmy Pickles and Boomer D, it's awesome to see you. Great, thanks for stopping in. But yeah, that was Pierre. That booze nose was a beauty, boy. That guy, I never seen one so that.
And they're also big and pitted.
Yeah. They got to have the pit. They got to look like a 14-year-old boy's face, you know. All full of.
And they look like they got no feeling to them. Look like you could stick it with a pin and they wouldn't feel it.
They look like giant fucking strawberries.
That's exactly kind of what they look like.
They look like a giant goddamn strawberry. But his was so damn big and disproportionate. I mean, it took up a third of his fucking face. And us kids, we'd stand there and we BS'd with the guy. He's single guy living in the neighborhood, old guy. You know, he was in his late 50s, early 60s. And us kids, we'd ride our bikes by, see old Whiskey Nose out in the front yard. And we call him Whiskey Nose. And that's my dad's fault, you know. He started that shit. And we'd be riding by, hey, Whiskey Nose. He'd say, hey, kids, come here, boys, you know. And he always wanted the bullshit. And I don't know how many times one of my friends would start getting kind of close to him. I put an arm out and I go, don't get too close in case that fucking nose pops. If that nose ever blows, man, you better hit the ground. That's going to be one hell of a big boom. Because it looked like that fucker could explode. Look at the size of that.
I don't see him as much anymore. I can't say.
No,
I can't tell you the last time I saw one like that.
No. I've seen small ones, but not that extreme. You know, the bigger ones like we used to. There is a fella here, Running Water knows who I'm talking about. The Iron Moccasin.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a Whiskey Nose. Yeah, and it's a good one. It's a good big one. Yeah, but he's had it since he was about 23. Wow. And he's town drunk though. You know, I mean, nobody. He comes right out and says, he told the last time I saw him, well, about a year ago, I saw him. He told me, I was telling him, I said, God damn it, David. And he goes, why are you calling me David? I said, well, that's your actual freaking name. And he goes, I don't like that. And I said, fine, Iron Moccasin. He's a Native American fella, and he likes Iron Moccasin. And he doesn't use his birth name. And I said, okay, Iron Moccasin. I said, I just want to say, man, I'm surprised they've never, all these years, I've known you for over 30 years now, and all the attempts to dry you out, they've never managed to truly dry you out. And he goes, well, he said, well, if you're a banker, once a banker, always a banker. If you're an attorney, once an attorney, always attorney. If you're the town drunk and you're the best one in town, you're always the town drunk. It didn't fuck up all of his brain cells. I mean, the guy's got it figured out, man. And he said, I saw this gal and her husband confront him, and they said, oh, here, they gave him $10 or something. And said, here, this is to help you out, you know, it's a shame, you know, what you have to go through and this and that. And he's smiling at him, take $10, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, he's gonna get a jug off that. He's loving that shit. And just waiting to see where this conversation goes. And then all of a sudden Iron Moccasin says to him, you sound like you pity me. And they said, well, we're not trying to pity you. We just feel sorry for you. He goes, why? And they said, well, you're homeless. You're dealing with alcoholism. You're out here in this nasty weather and you can't work. And he goes, yeah. And they said, but that's terrible. And he goes, why is that terrible? He says, you don't know me. He says, let me shut this whole conversation down by telling you I'm exactly where I want to be. He says, and I'm loving it. And he was right. Iron Moccasin loved being Iron Moccasin.
Yeah, he's probably the happiest person in town.
He is. I mean, he would scare people because he looked scary. His big old whiskey nose, and he'd steal a bicycle, and you see him ride it around for a week or so until the cops finally stop him and go, there's that bike that was stolen, you know, and take it away from him. They don't waste their time citing him or nothing, you know, just take the bike away from him, give it back to the original owner. But it was so funny watching him coming to the Dollar Tree. I'd see him coming across the parking lot and how he'd go around all the parked cars. And I had people say, you know, for a damn town drunk, he can ride that bike pretty good. I said, the only reason he's missing those cars is because he's swerving like a son of a bitch. I said, if he was sober, he'd probably hit every one of them. But he's one of those town characters that your heart kind of went out to him. It's just like, even though he's got this terrible, rough life, and the alcoholism is it's killing him early. We all know that. But he's still one of those guys where you don't want to do without him. You see him and you just kind of like, holy shit, look at him. And then you think, oh, he made my day, though. Check him out. I lived in this apartment in Bayfield, Wisconsin for a while. And it was an old hotel, and I was the only one in it that had a one-bedroom apartment on the top floor of this hotel. Well, outside, beside the hotel, was a big pile of scrap iron and wood and car parts and shit, all piled up next to the building. Late one night outside my apartment living room window, I hear something crashing around in that shit. And I thought, oh boy, we got the scavengers are stealing shit out of that pile. And my landlord asked me, keep an eye, because people pull in there, they want that scrap, you know. Scrap is up, they're going to steal it. All the scrap here. Well, I heard that, so I go run in the window and look out there. And I couldn't see anybody. I walk away from the window, and I hear it again, look again. Didn't see anybody. I thought, son of a bitch. So I get dressed to go out, and I go down the stairs of that hotel, and come out the front, go around the back, get up to that pile. I don't see anybody. All of a sudden, that pile starts to move. It's a big ass pile too. It's huge. It's probably close to 20 foot across diameter and stacked 12 feet high. All of a sudden, that pile's moving and it's clanking and banging. And I look a little closer. This is dark. It's middle of the fucking night. I look, and it's colder than shit. It's like 20 degrees out. There's Iron Moccasin. And I go, Iron Moccasin, what in the hell are you doing in my scrap pile? He goes, can you help me? He says, I've been in here for a long time. I can't find my way out. Well, you really don't want to be touching the town drunk, but I had to. I had to help get him the hell out of the scrap pile. I helped drag him out of there. And that's when I realized he ain't standing. There ain't no way in hell he can stand. He's on his knees for a while, then he falls over. Then he's back on his knees, and he's talking away at me, and thank God you're my savior. He says, I was scared to death. I don't know where I'm going to go tonight, but he says, this could be the one where I freeze to death. And I said, no shit, man. Looking at him, he's wearing like a light sweater and a windbreaker and just a regular pair of jeans and tennis shoes, and it's 20 degrees outside, and he's sleeping on the street. And then I remembered, because I was involved with the PD, local police department, and I was on the fire department and the like, and so then I recalled, I know why he makes it every winter. God damn it, don't be dumb. Got on the cell phone, called, yeah, 911, send a squad down here to my address. Okay, they didn't even, when I called them, they didn't even ask what it was. They once in a while the dispatcher would say, do they need guns drawn? That's all, you know. Otherwise they didn't care what I was calling them for. Yeah, we'll send somebody, because he don't call unless he really needs someone. The local chief of police shows up, and him and I were drinking buddies. He shows up and he goes, Sty, what's up? And I go, take a look by the junk pile there. He goes, oh, Jesus, why'd you call me? Oh, my God, Iron Moccasin. And I go, you got to lock him up. He goes, I've been told by the DA we're not allowed to lock him up just because he's the town drunk anymore, because he just wants three hots and a cot, you know. And I said, but he's going to freeze to death if you don't. And he goes, we know that, but we're really getting a lot of heat from the DA. And I said, then he needs to be fucking locked up, because he's a goddamn vandal, criminal. I said that, goddamn committing felonies. And he goes, what did he do? And I said, I looked at him and I go, hey, look at that. Chief looks the other way. I had a chunk of iron in my hand from the junk pile. Turn around, I threw it through the downstairs window of the hotel. And I go, Iron Moccasin. And he Chief turned around, he goes, what the hell? I said, that little bastard just threw something through my window there. Well, I picked the right window. I knew that there was a whole stack of those windows in the building. Hell, I'll just replace it. It's a double hung window. It's easy to replace. Kenny, the chief of police, goes, damn it, Iron Moccasin. I got no choice. I got to cuff you. I got to put your stinky butt in my squad car. And I'm hauling you in. You're getting charged with criminal damage. I walk up and he's standing kind of next to Iron Moccasin. He had just got his cuffs out of his holster, and Iron Moccasin's hands are still free. And a car went zipping through town too fast. So Kenny turned and looked at that. So from where Iron Moccasin was standing, I reached around and I smacked Kenny across the shoulder. He spins around. What in the hell are you doing hitting me? I said, I can't believe that. Iron Moccasin come around and tried to sucker punch you, man. He says, "Well, that's going on your tag too, assaulting an officer." I said, "That's good. That's good. The busted window will get him 90 days. That's 3 months. Assaulting the officer, and I know Gallagher, our judge, he's going to make these consecutive sentences. He's not going to give up. They're not going to be, or they're not going to be concurrent, or they serve them both at the same time. No, he's going to make them serve one, then serve the other." I said he's going to get another 90 days. I said that puts him out 6 months in county. So I'm pretty sure he's covered for the winter. And he had to stay dry all that 6 months in county jail. He come out very first thing, man. Within hours, he was hammered, and he's all over town. I had a couple people say, "Iron Moccasins looking for you." What? And sure as shit, he run into me at the IGA grocery store, and they gave him some ching. He had some money when he got out of jail. They gave him a little ching, so he was in there buying. He had bought enough booze, so now he's going to buy something to eat. And he runs into me, and oh my God, the whole town had to hear him bellowing out, "My life savior! Oh my God, he saved my life!" And on and on. I told him, "You little drunk bastard, get the hell away from me. I catch you in that junk pile ever again. It's a death sentence. It's not 6 months in county. It's a death sentence." I said, "You pissed off one of my best friends because he knows I walked him down that trail, that he didn't have a choice but lock your ass up."
Yeah.
But he was that kind of character where, yeah, I was willing to step out of line a little bit to help him get 3 hots and a cot for the winter. We just didn't, in our neck of the woods up here, we have no shelters or any place for those guys to go.
So are you sure you didn't get drunk in jail? I just had a friend get out of jail after being in there he was only in there for 24 days. But he said the guys that were in there, they would take their jelly packs that would come with their breakfast, and they would take their bread, and they put it, and they stuff it into like their pop bottle,
and they ferment,
and they let it sit for a week, and it tasted nasty as hell, is what they would say. But they were getting drunk in prison off of bread and jelly packets.
Yeah, here, both Bayfield County and Ashland County is wise to that shit. They literally every 3 days they do cell sweeps, and you can't have anything from the canteen in your cell. If you go to the canteen and you buy some candy and a couple of Twinkies and a bottle of pop or can of pop, you sit out in the commons and enjoy it all you want, but you're not walking through that cell door with it. Yeah. And every 3 days, they do a cell sweep. They find any of that shit. Our judge, especially here in Ashland County, guess what, buddy? You're spending an extra 30 days. Yeah. So
local jail, so not anything.
And for a local jail here, I told these guys so many times, man, you guys are so fucking hardcore. It's ridiculous. And they said, yeah, but we don't have those other issues. We don't have the drugs. We don't have the booze. We don't have the smoking. That was when they banned smoking in the jailhouses. That was a bitch, man. I mean, even the cops were smuggling smokes into these poor guys, and you smoke that son of a bitch and make it quick. Well, what did they do? Both Bayfield and Ashland. Your freaking cells got 4 smoke detectors in the son of a bitch.
Wow.
You can't fart wrong without setting a detector off in them places.
Smoke detector off. I'm just saying.
And they used to, if you were spending any more than 30 days or more, you could get on what they called outside crew. Well, outside crew meant you got to wash squad cars. They take you out of your cell and they take you out in the garage, and you washed all the squad cars for the local communities, the sheriff's department, wash the ambulances and shit. Well, they got a cop out there. You're guarded while you're doing all that shit. But they'd let you smoke out there in the garage. Yep, they'd let you smoke in the garage. Oh, no. They got a new jailer. Oh, no. You can't smoke at all. In fact, I was hiring guys on Huber. They come all the way to my housing authority and work on a construction crew. But right in the Huber agreement, it's made perfectly clear. They're still prisoners. But you end up being their guard. And they're expected to follow every single jail rule, even outside of jail, because they are still prisoners. In other words, they're not allowed to smoke. I ain't putting these guys out in the field working, doing landscaping and carpentry work with a bunch of paid employees that are out there smoking like chimneys, and these poor fuckers are jonesing, they're in jail. So I let them smoke. We figured out strategic areas they could go and smoke. And and the cops did, usually twice a week, they'd show up unexpected. You got to put us on to every one of our prisoners you got in your possession. And I ran a big Huber crew. The largest I had, it was 16 guys. 16 guys a day. They were using a big 15-passenger van to cram them guys in and haul them out there every morning, pick them up every afternoon. But that was part of the Huber agreement. They couldn't come and wander around freely all over my projects and shit, because we had OSHA rules and regs and things that I had to make sure they were following. So they had to stop at my office and say, we're here to check on all of our prisoners. And here's the list. We want to see every one of those prisoners and where you have them. Well, I'd know right away. Oh, those 4 guys, I know they're smoking right now in that semi-trailer we got at that job site. So we won't go over there first. We're going to go check, because this is their smoke break time. I knew when they had their smoke breaks. So, boy, I had all these jailbirds love the hell out of Sty, man. And then they worked their asses off too, these guys. Hey, Dennis, yeah, I see Dennis out there. But these guys work their asses off for me, and they're not getting paid. They just get to get the hell out of the jailhouse for pay. And they give them a paper bag lunch that's got either 2 bologna sandwiches, ain't got no fucking butter or nothing with it, just two sandwiches that's got a sheet of bologna between them, and a bag of chips, and either an orange or an apple. And that's what they got for lunch. And I'm working their asses off. So once a week, I always picked the day right after the cops came out and did their check. Where's all our prisoners? Yeah, there they are. There. All's cool. They leave. That very next day, I know they ain't going to be back out. I'd run up to what we call the lanes, running water knows what I'm talking about. It's a bowling lanes, bar, and restaurant. I'd run up there and I'd tell them, I need 16 cheeseburgers, 16 orders of fries. Do go. And I'd buy them all lunch and take it out to their work sites and give them all their fucking cheeseburgers and fries. The fucking guys, they love me, man. They love me. During that whole spell, I didn't have to worry about any local assholes. They started getting shitty with me or assholish. I just look at one of them jailbirds and they get involved right away. Hey, we're here because we don't mind doing the time. And if I want the living hell out of you, I'll have to do another 60 days, but that's okay because Sty will get me out and have me working again. So, yeah, there were a few people that like to give me shit that quit, man, flat out. You see that guy? He's hanging out with a dozen of them goddamn prisoners. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm getting my butt to bed, so.
I was just gonna say, it's time for me to get out of here too. Stephanie's making eyes at me. I'm apparently being too loud.
Oh, are you now?
She gets up at 3:30 in the morning, so she went to bed shortly after our stream was over.
So
that's all right, guys. I'm gonna run this for hit the 3-hour mark. Shut it down. Because my stream yesterday, I was gonna stream for about an hour just to test my stream deck and kind of show off my new monitor and shit, and then say good night, guys. I'll see who else is up and stream it. 7 fucking hours. 7-hour stream, man. I haven't done anything over 4 hours forever, and
A lot of practice, huh?
that, and it was supposed to be no more than an hour. That's what I went into it feeling like. I can't handle more than an hour. It was 6 hours and 40 some minutes. Yeah, and that's what I should have done. Phil just whoop. Yeah, he takes off when he's got to go. And
well, you have a good night, Sty. You and I got to work on that collab again one of these nights.
Yeah. Down the road here, not too far distant future, I got a couple things to talk to you about.
Sounds good.
It's about the 48-hour thing, and it does need to be broke up. There's streaming limitations, so
no worries. We'll figure it out.
We'll talk through that. I got a few ideas. Got the gears grinded. Yeah.
Well, you guys have a good night.
You too, buddy.
Take care.
Good seeing you.
Yep. There you go. Anybody out there in the chat or just viewing, if you haven't got Travis at Tales of the Campground Host, look him up. Look him up. Give him a thumbs up and watch a video. Leave a comment. Subscribe to him, man. Trying to help that guy get on his feet with his channel. He wants to do an awful lot, and I think he'll go a long ways if he gets the right jump start. Hey there, neighbor girl. Great to see ya. And she's taking off. Later, y'all. Y'all.
Yeah. Beans being pathetic.
Yeah, look at him.
Yeah,
It's
well,
like-
you want to see why he's being pathetic? Now watch. He sees that moving towards it, and he'll jump up here. Once I grab it.
Oh, yeah, he's right there. Look at that sausage.
Sausage on a stick.
It's like Bean saying, my snack on a stick.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a sausage. Yeah.
Yeah, look. Well, if I can get it.
Oh, yeah. He's like, you can see my dish is empty, pal, and you got that damn sausage. Oh man, he's looking pitiful. There. At least he gets a little tasty. Yeah, I've got people talking to me now, now that the word's out that you and I are going to be living together and the studio will be there at the house. They're saying, yeah, when he's in town and when Bean's at the house, you can have him live with you. And I said, oh, yeah. If Bean wants to hang out live with me, I don't give a shit. You betcha. We'll make sure he's got a chair to sit in or something, Yeah, we'll see Beaner live at home. Yeah. But I got to be careful. And actually now I thought about that already, just watching Bean sitting back in the bunk. That mount for the 3 monitors, that's the way to go. Because if it was on a stand, Bean wagging his ass could make all my monitors start going because he's got an ass that is like rock, and he ain't got enough tail to wiggle his tail, so he shakes his whole ass, and you don't want to get knocked in the shins by his ass, man. You feel it. It's like somebody hitting you with a sledgehammer. Yeah.
Well, and then I do have a lot of
hey Andrew,
wire management supplies.
Oh, do you? Do you?
Yeah, yeah, clips. I got the mesh split wraps. You know, so you can bundle wires together and stuff to, you know,
Yeah.
so you get stuff where you want it
Good,
and
good,
be able to
good.
have a single line. You won't have
Yeah.
excess
Yeah.
wires flying around. He doesn't
Yeah.
really get into anything
I'm not
when
worried.
it comes to, you know,
No.
like Joe's desk. You know,
Yeah.
he never went by Joe's desk. He didn't care about it. You know.
Yeah. There's nothing of interest there, and
Yeah.
that'll be my studio too. Is I never have food. It's the rarest occasion I actually got food at the studio desk, and if I do, I consume it, and it moves the minute I do. You know, so there's nothing that'll be of interest to him. You know,
Right.
so
Well, and then he never runs free without me being there. So
right,
whenever I
yeah,
go anywhere, he goes into his crate. You know, which
yeah,
that crate is designed for like a German Shepherd. It's a huge crate.
yeah,
You know, he's got tons of toys in there and blankets, and
I know. That's
blew
one thing
apart
I
in.
know. That's one thing I noticed with him right away is that he don't mind his crate. He don't mind his crate. Hey, Mountain Bushcrafters Alliance, MBA, Roland, it is awesome seeing you, pal. I want to let you know I watch your stuff and I leave a thumbs up. I'm very guilty of not leaving comments. I admit that. I admit that. Yeah. That's my bad. That's my bad. I tell you what, you guys, you got to watch NBA. He's another one, man. If you aren't following NBA, you're a goofball. He's one talented character, man, and he's a man of many talents. Awesome musician. He sings like a bird. He's great. You'll laugh your ass off because he's a good-hearted, humorous person. He makes some of the neatest bowls and cups and stuff on the lathe, and he does stuff in his wood shop, and he's an avid trapper. Yeah, he's an outdoorsman, craftsman, and musician all rolled into one. Yeah. Oh, MBA. Yeah. I know. I appreciate you, man. Thank you very much, pal. Yeah. Boy, when he's jamming, he's got a stream going and he's singing. Everything's improv. I love it too when a little bit of the shine, and also the next thing you know, he's really improving it. He starts laughing at himself. I forgot the lines, but the ones I just came up with, those are pretty darn good. I mean, yeah, some of his improv. Yeah, forget the lines. Come up with some of your own. What the hell? And
Yeah,
it's
I wish I had a big enough workshop to actually get a lathe out there, and you know, I would like to make bowls for the Scarbox guitars.
Yeah.
Make a bowl back. Yeah. But
I thought about that too. Is if I had a good enough lathe, then I could do some tooling on some of my hiking sticks on the lathe,
right.
Instead of trying to hand carve some of it. Lathes are a blast, man. When I remember those were the good old days too. Is when I was in high school, our wood shop, metal shop, our automotive classes, man, you did everything, anything and everything. Steel shop, you make a whole toolbox of tools. You make the toolbox, and you make all the tools to put in it, forged. And I tell you what, it was so different. But in wood shop, oh my God, our shop had 4 really awesome lathes in it. Well, our other shop for metalwork that had 4 big lathes in it. But the wood shop, oh my God, and they had such an awesome stock of timber to work with. the lumber in there was to die for, and everything you could imagine: mahogany, cherry, walnuts, maples, everything. They had it all. They had veneers, dimensional lumber, bulk block lumber for making bowls and shit on the lathes. And I love shop, wood shop. I just love in wood shop.
That was always my favorite, was working out in wood shop.
Yeah.
You know, that I always, you know, when in high school, I'd always make sure I had 2 separate classes each year of wood shop. I mean, well, you guys had that medicine cabinet I made with the green glass on it for how many years?
Yeah, oh, forever it seemed.
Yeah.
And I don't know what your mother did with that. That kind of pissed me off because I liked that. But yeah, when I was in wood shop, I built I built an 18-foot cedar strip canoe. 18-foot cedar strip canoe. And I was pissed because when I got done with it, I thought, I'll have that damn thing the rest of my life. Then I was informed, oh, no, you aren't. That belongs to the school. And we're going to auction it off for the band. A fund for the band. And I said, the fuck you are. We got in a big fight over it. Ended up being, nope, the canoe was mine. And after I got it to the point where they had to turn that canoe over to me, I turned around and I went to the band teacher and said, I know how to make you a bunch of money. How's that? Want to auction off a canoe? And they did well too. They got like, now we're talking about early mid 70s, and they got like $900 for that cedar strip canoe. Back then, that would be like getting like that. That'd be $3,000 for it today, $3 or $4,000. So it was worth. You know, the person that bought it paid a little bit of a premium for it, but no, that's what it was worth. Definitely worth. It was worth $900. The wood shop teacher, that was the best part of the whole thing. That was kind of a scam, but I was okay with it. As a teenager, I was okay with it. They said, well, no, that canoe belongs to the school, and they can do what they want with it. It doesn't belong to Sty. And my shop teacher said he had very little outside assistance putting that thing together from beginning to end. And he said, that's his canoe. And they said, where'd he get all the material to build that canoe? Shop teacher said, well, he bought that. He provided all of his own material. We provided the equipment, the place to build it, and the education that went with it. No, I didn't buy that shit. It come right off their racks. I took all that beautiful red cedar and cut the strips on the bandsaw. All of it came off their racks. But he swore up and down, no, he brought his own material. So and the band got the money anyway. But the school and the band teacher had egg on their face for trying to just take it, you know? That's
well, you know, I remember when I had first started high school, we still had well, what's his name, Olson, out there in the shop. He ended up retiring. We got that new guy, that dough ring, that tree hugger.
Yeah.
That he didn't want us doing wood projects. That he, you know, that we were doing composite wood projects, recycled product projects, because of, you know, trees. You know,
but, make a plastic end table, save a tree.
But Olson, I really liked how he did stuff out there in his shop.
Yeah.
That he had his prices, and he give you prices right up for materials.
Yep.
Like, yeah, you're gonna build this project, okay. This
Yeah.
is how much wood you need and stuff. This is how much it will cost for this type of wood. You want to make
Right.
that out of mahogany? It's going to cost more. You know, you're going to make it
Yeah.
out of just oak. Okay, that's cheaper.
Yeah.
But he would tell you after it's done, I'll look at your blueprint and I'm going to look at your project and take measurements. And then if it's all level and it's good, it's like you won't get charged for the materials.
Right.
Like you build it right and you won't have to pay for the materials.
The yeah, MBA said he made a shoe shine box for his dad. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
I made a little, just a storage kind of box that had 2 lift out compartments in it, and I made that for my granddad, and that it was kind of sad though. I got it done, give it to my granddad, and he passed away just a matter of a couple months later. So I ended up getting the box back. E-Waste Mike. Bean!
Yeah, he went to bed. He had his sausage.
That is sausage. E-Waste Mike pudding. Speaking of pudding, yesterday I had a rough day. I just couldn't eat. I wasn't able to eat worth the shit. I had some chips and stuff, and today, man, I got it mastered now, even with my eating disorder. I start my day off with a nice hot fresh cup of coffee and a large V8. So I don't say anymore, I could have had a V8, because I do have a V8. So today I started out with my coffee and my V8, and that was getting me through the morning just fine. I felt like $1,000,000. And right around noon, I headed over and we moved my truck. I did that stuff and got back home. And I walked in and I'm going, I don't never feel truly hungry, but I felt like I wanted a snack. So I sat and I ate a stack of Pringles chips, about a third of a can of them, and drank my coffee. And then I got one sitting right here. I had an insurer. Now I want to tell you, every day now, I have an insurer between noon and 2 o'clock. Every day. So many people call that old fart juice, right? It ain't. It ain't. I'm telling you.
No, I've got a case of it up on the shelf here, that, and a parcel down.
This insurer, I went to Walmart when I decided I got to supplement my diet because I just don't need enough solids, to get the minerals and the vitamins and shit I need. The V8's help. You're getting a lot of, it's veggies, and the V8's good for you. There's a lot in it. But these things, I took and looked at that ingredient, or what everything that's in it, right? The ingredient label. Well, there's 130 calories in this little bottle. That's good for me. That's a good bump, But I took a 6-pack of these from the old fart department. I mean, these damn insurers are only about 10, 12 feet away from the pens, for God's sakes. So I grabbed a 6-pack of these, and they're the high protein ones. And I went down 2 aisles, took a right. There's all of the fitness supplements. You're a bodybuilder, you got to have high protein, you got to have this and that, and then blah, blah, blah. And they got the exact same bottle size, right? Exact same shape, different label, different name. And I looked at the ingredients and how much of each is in it. This frickin' insurer is more potent than that energy drink or that fitness drink. And a friend of mine was a bodybuilder his whole life. Said, I've been drinking Ensure ever since that came out. I drink it like water. And he's independently wealthy. But he drinks 4 of these a day. Well, I can't afford 4 of these a day. They're $9 a 6-pack, right? So it cost me $45 a month to drink Ensure each and every day. Well, he's drinking 4 times that. So yeah, it's costing him $180 a month just for his Ensure. He said he has never once used a fitness drink, the equivalent to the Ensure with a different label. And he said, because Ensure's got more to it than that drink has. And the Ensure is under $10 a 6-pack. Look at the price of those fitness drinks. So I did. Not only was this better for you, those fitness drinks start at $12 and go all the way up to $18 a 6-pack.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got the exact same ingredients, and in a lot of cases, not as much of the same ingredients as this does. It's insane.
Oh yeah.
It's what a gimmick. And literally, with Ensure and high protein fitness drinks, the equivalents, you're just buying the title.
Mm-hmm.
It's more expensive to stay fit than it is to stay healthy. I don't know. I mean, how dumb is that shit? So yeah. So yeah, yesterday I just couldn't eat nothing. I had a couple of liquid things, and then last night I snacked a little more on some crackers and chips, and I just couldn't get anything down. I just couldn't. Well, today it was a whole different story. I got up, had my V8, my coffee, and I felt good. Get home, had my Ensure, felt like $1 million. Mid-afternoon, I took a can of tomato soup, or a tomato rice soup, and I fixed that. Well, and I took a standard small size can of stewed tomatoes, and I strained them off, poured them out on my cutting board, and cut those sliced stewed tomatoes up into chunks, put those into that tomato soup, stirred that up. I got real bacon bits, a bag full of them damn things. You put a big handful of bacon bits in there, stirred that in there, let it simmer. I sat here and managed to eat about 2.5 cups of that soup this afternoon. I haven't been able to get that much down my throat in days and days. I've been eating, man. Today I'm actually ahead of the game on getting food down in me. It was uncomfortable a few times, but in general, I loved the flavors today too. Everything tasted good, you know. The NBA will give you some special juice to keep you going. Well, that I know. I mean, that I know. That's a whole different story. I've been having people tell me running water. They want me to drink this shit. This cloudy ass.
I was going to tell you. I had stayed out there.
Chunks. It looks like it's got. It looks like it's got a vinegar mother growing in it. Oh my God.
Well, and I had asked them about that out in Hagen when I spent the night there.
Yeah.
I talked to you for a bit.
Right.
It was right after I did that mountain stream.
Yep. And you showed me the picture out front that you were there.
And I went in to eat and stuff, and then there's the bar in there, and I'm like, oh, well, I'll sit down and I'll have a drink. Because, it's like I'm in no rush. I got 7 days to make a 3-day trip. It's like I'll start off late, and wait till the sun comes up. So sitting in there, and I saw they had that on the shelf. And I asked the gal, I'm like, that bottle right there. I said, I bought 2 of those bottles, one for me and one for my dad.
Uh-huh.
I said, and got home with it.
And they
I
went
said,
bad.
and I said, and now they got like dregs in it. And she's like, yeah, it does that. She's
I,
like, we've asked them about that, and we don't know why it does that. They don't know why it does that, but they still
well,
sell it. And
I
I'm like,
fuck.
and you serve it like that? And she's like, yeah.
Oh,
I'll
fuck.
give you a shot. I
Oh,
was like, okay. I took a
oh,
shot and it had some of those little flakies in it, but
yeah.
it was like,
Oh. No, that
it's,
bottle, I'm telling you, it's got big goobers in it. I
yeah,
can see
it's something.
pouring it and all of a sudden having a plop, big old goober comes out
Yeah,
of it.
well, what I think it is it's the huckleberry juice being added to the moonshine after the fact.
Well, and the fact is, it's not true moonshine in the first
Right.
place. It's only 29%.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. So
you know,
it's basically vodka. Yeah.
really weak vodka. But the thing is I'm looking at that. I won't even try it. I haven't popped the cap on it or nothing. I don't want. I don't even want to smell it because my mind has already judged it, and so I keep it here as a showpiece. You know, I'm not going to throw it out. I'm going to hang on to it, but anything that turns like that, I got 2 bottles of wine kept in a cool, dark place. I pulled them out. They were both bottled at the same, within days of each other. One looks like that huckleberry shit. The other one is clear as a bell. And it's like, guess what? Old bitch vinegar over there. I ain't opening that wine bottle. I ain't happening.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah. We'll put them out. We'll put both bottles out in the shed and use them as parts cleaner. Yeah.
Huckleberry part cleaner. Yeah. They use them huckleberries for just
Yeah.
about anything, you know. But
And that's one thing with you being over at the house. Then if you decide you want to get fancy and stuff, you got a nice selection of scotches to choose from.
yeah, you got a good assortment there. If I want to have a little sip, you know, tell folks, hey, I found this on Running Water's shelf. We're going to give that a little sip tonight. We'll try that, you know, because you don't have to worry about me actually over imbibing. I'm not going to grab one of your jugs and drink half of it. That ain't happening. Not anymore. Not with this boy. I got enough issues to. I'm not going to. Yeah. Hey, you have a good night, James. Chasing the Reapers, heading out for the night. It was awesome having you. It was awesome having you here, James. We're gonna wrap it up here in about 6 minutes anyway. And I'm not gonna do like I did last night. I'm not talking to this little shit until 2:00 in the morning tonight.
Yeah, you hear that, Bean? He's not talking to you until 2.
I'm not talking about him. Bean lets me go. You don't.
No. We can blame Mojo.
Yeah. Well, I felt bad a couple times today that Mojo got a good taste of what happens at the Sty Shack if you get into a good conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? I went back and watched a couple of those streams where I 4, 5, 6 times said, that's it, guys. That's it. 20 more minutes. That's it. Shutting it down. And it would happen 5, 6 times. And we're out there another 2.5, 3 hours beyond where I said, that's it, guys. We're shutting it down.
Throw another log on the fire. That's
it. It's always throw another log on the fire. You damn fool. Cinda Lou, are you going to? No, it's just James saying good night to Cinda Lou because he's heading out. I love that. Every time I see Cinda Lou, I'm sorry, but yeah. I picture Whoville right away. Yeah.
That's Cindy Lou Who.
That's Yeah, I was kind of looking around, talking around, shit. A couple of people I know that got little lap dogs, that I could get a mascot. No, no. Not knowing my longevity, if I get a dog, that fucker's gonna outlive me, I guarantee you. And I don't want you stuck with a second mascot around the house. So, and I don't have anybody else in the family that I would let have my dog. So,
Well, hell, if you want, I can leave him home sometimes.
you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that, because that was another factor I weighed too. Is that's the one thing in my life that I don't have to have that responsibility for.
Yeah.
When
Yeah,
it comes
it's
to
a lot of scheduling. Yeah.
when it comes to a pet, I mean, the pet can be totally taken care of, well fed and well walked and pooped and everything. His life's perfect and on and on. And I'm the kind of person where I even though I spent all the time with that pet during the day doing stuff with it, I can't sit down for 10, 15 minutes without feeling guilty for ignoring the pet, and I just feel that obligation to make sure the pet's happy, and I like not even having to think that, let alone feel it, I like other people's pets now in this stage of the game. Other people's pets, like Bean. I love Bean, but I'm not responsible for Bean. I can just love him.
Well, it's kind of like kids.
Yeah, like a grandkid.
Yeah, it's somebody else's kid.
I could spoil the shit out of you and send you back to Papa. That's
yeah. Your mom will be here in about 30 minutes, so you better finish up that Red Bull.
Yeah, your third one. Yeah, and do your best not to act up at all until you're in the car out of the driveway. Yeah, then I don't care how you act, but while you're here, you act really nice. From Whoville, yes, Cindy Lou, the Grinch. I don't care, the Grinch movie and blah blah blah. I don't care what anybody says. I was absolutely, back when I was a kid, I was absolutely amazed that Boris Karloff was the Grinch. I mean, back in my day, when I was young, Boris Karloff was one scary fucker, boy, and here he is, the Grinch, and his voice was perfect, just perfect. Well, that's like the original Rudolph the Reindeer. I don't care about any other version. It's got to be the original, because
the old stop motion,
and you had actual. I mean, Burl Ives. Nobody could have been the snowman in that other than Burl Ives. If I see or hear Burl Ives, I picture the snowman. If I see that snowman, I picture Burl Ives. I mean, they're synonymous. I mean, because he had to be that snowman. Had to be. And yeah, talking Christmas. Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to Christmas Day.
Yeah. Well, I finally reached a point where I now understand the Grinch.
Yeah,
he was the one in the right.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, screw everybody.
Well,
how dare they be happy down there? What do you got to be happy about?
Well, and that's the thing about, now if we're going to psychoanalyze the Grinch, one thing that I picked on rather quickly was, Okay. Was the Grinch just a criminal component? Was he a greedy thief? Actually, he didn't give a damn about their shit. He wanted to steal Christmas. He wanted to take away all the joyful stuff. I just want to take that away from them because I don't feel it, so why should they? Taking their material things from them wasn't his intent. You know, it was just an evil necessity for him to get his point across. The hell with your Christmas, you know? Because what was he going to do with all that shit? Nothing.
Push it off the mountain.
Yeah, that's it. It was he didn't care about that stuff at all. He just cared about them enjoying themselves, you know. That's wrong. I'm not, so why should they? So really all he was trying to do was steal their happiness, you know. And I realized there's a lot of fucking Grinches in the world, man. I've seen quite a few people try to steal others' happiness, you know. Hey, Mike, you have a very good night. Very good night, buddy. Yeah, it's Sunday night, so tomorrow night I've got a Sty Times tomorrow night. Then I have Tuesday off, and I'm literally going to be working Tuesday. I'm packing more shit. I'm going through my pantry. That's going to be a bummer, man.
Yeah, I feel bad that the back of my truck is all full of stuff.
No.
Because you could have hauled some stuff over if you
you actually have enough room in the back of your truck for me to put one of these storage totes in there, and I could put another one right on top of it. So, but it's as of after the 15th, I'll have the big truck back, and that's full of shit too. So I got to do some rearranging and somewhere to drop that shit off in the shed. So I got an empty truck to haul shit, and then I can really haul shit, you know.
I was thinking,
don't do that; it'll hurt you.
Oh well, and let's see what you think of this. You know, because maybe I can convince Travis to help. I was gonna run down to L&M, grab a couple of the smaller tarps, double tarp that cement mixer, and put it in the back of his pickup.
Oh no.
No?
Oh, we'll end up with a big family feud.
Oh, okay.
The reason is he has nowhere to put it there.
No, I mean in the back of his gray pickup.
Oh, in the back of his. Well, see, that too could cause a family feud because he does want to sell it.
Oh, okay.
And if he sells that truck, he can't get it.
Take it back out. Yeah, okay.
Then we'd have to take it out, and it's sitting outside on the ground. You know, it's not that in the way.
Okay, well, plan B, I'm gonna get like 2 bags of ice and like 4 jugs of sangria, some oranges,
and mix it in that. So use it for a party mixer, right?
Because it's never been used for anything.
Wouldn't he shit if next summer you come home and he hasn't moved it yet, and then he comes over to get it and he finds it in the backyard and a whole bunch of drunks all over the place, and that sucker's just out there turning. People reaching in there and getting a glass full.
Punch bowl. Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Fill full of ice and just put bottles of beer in there. It's like, yeah, there we go. You know.
I like the idea of making giant freaking margaritas or something in it. You know, that'd be pretty damn cool.
Well, you get one of those, those bucket attachment paint mixers.
Yeah.
For the drill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Making daiquiris.
Making daiquiris by the bucket. Now I did see that somebody did that. I saw the YouTube video where they were having this beach party, and there's a guy out there with goddamn paint mixer drill, and he was whipping up daiquiris in 5-gallon buckets, food grade buckets out there. Well, it looked like there was about 150 fucking people, you know. The Infinite Maw, good to see ya. Inflatable pool for Sty. I don't want a pool. No, thank you. No, thank you. That yard, I want it wood and brush free. Hey, there's something for you. The one ash stump, both of those stump clumps.
Yeah.
But the one clump closest to the house, I'm going to buzz all that growth that came off that stump, but it's going to disappear. No, gone. The other stump, I was looking at it today, walking around and looking at it. I'm going to cut the growth in just to the tops of the stumps. The one stump has got a damn tree that big around already growing on it. And it's way away from the neighbors. And it's not big.
Shade. Yeah.
And it's creating shade. So I'm gonna dress that whole stump up, clean it up, and we're gonna have a crown of shade coming off of that stump. You can sit around that stump, you know. Yeah. I got plans, man. That Joe goes, I'd cut that shit down, all of it. And I said, no, you wouldn't. I said, you haven't done shit out there yet. You ain't gonna cut that shit down.
Yeah, I know he was out there with some of his swords out there whacking at it. And like,
yeah.
Well,
He did
Yeah.
move. He did haul a bunch of wood out of that one area. I'm glad he did that. That's heavy shit that he moved. Some of the big rounds that I had cut. He moved that shit out and got it all lined up on the sidewalk there and shit. That's cool. That can stay there because now I'll get in there once the brush is out. I'll buck up the rest of that wood and save our bench, you know.
Yeah.
But and I'll throw all of those rounds. Then in that same spot, he's got those rounds stacked now. And I can just pull a splitter right up to that pile and clean it up. But so I told him, I said, yeah, I can see what you did. But I said, I can see what I did. I can see what you did. And neither one of us finished the damn job. I'm going to finish it. I said, because I'll be there.
Yeah. Now you see, I didn't do a damn thing. You know, because I wasn't going to start something I couldn't finish.
That's and you had other projects going on. I mean, the shed build, there was other shit going on. It wasn't as if you didn't do anything. You just didn't do anything on the brush and the wood. Yeah, there's a lot of things that needed to be done around there. And if you live there and you just put a half hour, 45 minutes, an hour a day on any of those outside kind of tasks, it won't take you but a couple of weeks and you'll have her whipped up, all done. And that's the way I am. I want something to do. If I feel good, I'll be out there doing that shit. I'll be doing that. If I'm not feeling the best, I'll be in the house doing something in there. There's always something to do, man. There's stuff to do. Instead of sitting around just spitting out a bunch of doo-doo. That's like walking around the front of the house, around the porch and going, can't wait till this summer sitting out on that porch in the evening watching the sunset. Yeah. Oh yeah, you were talking about your mail. Is the mail key hanging with the other keys?
Yeah, it's on the key that for this the CRV.
What's the CRV?
The Honda.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where it's a key and key fob single unit.
Right.
And it's got the little mail key on there. So
the mail key.
It's a big fat key. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And like I said, when I'm there and he's not home, I'll nose around, try to find any mail sitting anywhere, and I'll put it all together, and I'll find a spot to put it that he ain't gonna touch, and I'll try to.
I was just thinking about that today. I'm like, oh,
I'm waiting. My PayPal card expires this month, and they sent me an email and said, "Yeah, your card expires. All we need is you to confirm that it's you and confirm your address, and we'll get your new card off to you right away." I took care of that 2 weeks ago. I still haven't seen that fucking card. So God knows, they better get me that fucking PayPal card, man. I got a lot of money in there. I don't want it, fuckers.
Well, and it's like all the important bills, house, electric, all that, that comes directly out of the bank account, so that wouldn't get interrupted.
Right, but it's any other purchases,
all my streaming services and
Yeah. See, that's me. Is I've got 3 cards that have automatic payment to them, and it pissed me off because lately I had 2 of my cards, even though they're on automatic payment and had been making those automatic payments for almost 2 years, all of a sudden payment failure or payment not accepted or something. And I have to go in and tell it to take it off of a different card and then go back in, and I look and no, the default was the card they're saying they can't take the money off of. But I'm using that card anywhere and everywhere, online and at the store, but yet they are saying no, payment didn't clear. What in the effer? So I went, figured it out. Best way to cure that with a couple of my cards is I go in there and I take everything automatic off of that card. And once I get the last thing off it, then I go back in and put them all back on individually, back on that card as a default card. And now the regular payments are going back again like they were supposed to. But yeah, I don't know, sometimes these banks, these fuckers screw with shit, and all of a sudden your card ain't working like it's supposed to. Oh, my PlayStation Prime. Remember I told you I totally forgot, and they hit me with my annual fee. And which is okay, Yeah, if I would have known about it, I still would have, I would have paid it, Well, they hit my account. They charged me. It's paid for. I'm on the PS4. And it wasn't, that's the PlayStation Prime, Plus. And I'm on my PS4, played a little bit of Minecraft, and then I said, shit, I'm just going to watch a movie. So I went over and I'm going to watch Amazon Prime, right? Because I got that. I get it on the screen, boom. I pick a movie, go to start it, and it said, error such and such, go to PlayStation something or other .com / something to fix the problem. I hate that because, first of all, what if all I got is the PS4, you cocksuckers?
Mm-hmm.
Using the browser on the PS4 sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, I'll deal with that tomorrow. Well, this morning, when I fired shit up, I went into my PS4 account on the computer over the internet to see what's wrong with it. I couldn't see anything in there that's changed or nothing. Nothing. So I logged out, turned on the PS4, went to Amazon Prime. Well, I checked Prime too, and there's nothing on Prime had changed, period. Nothing really can there because I pay that all the time. It's always paid up. Well, I turned on the PS4 and I go to Amazon Prime Video, click it. First movie that comes on the screen, man. I did any movie. Tried it because they wouldn't let me watch anything the night before. Clicked on it. Fucking movie starts just fine. So what in the hell was going on last night that they say I have to go to on the internet, go to my account to fix it? When no, I didn't. You guys effed up and you're making it sound like it's something I gotta fix. That's exactly what that shit was. Yeah. Oh well. Life isn't interesting unless you got something to complain about, I guess. No. So well, and it was disturbing because I've got all of my DVDs and Blu-rays in one of those moving totes. All zipped shut, ready to move. Because I can access all I want to watch online, you know. Nope. Watch a movie, unzip that goddamn tote, and have to dig through all those movies to find one I want to watch. Pissed me off. Oh.
Yeah. Well, I'll, when you get in there, yeah, I'll get the Roku all
Yeah,
hooked up,
yeah.
and
We'll get that.
Then I'll write out the list of passwords and stuff for the rare occasions that something logs out and you have to get back into it.
Yeah. You gave me Netflix quite a while ago. And that was under Kenra and whatever. Yeah. And I wanted to watch Netflix about 2 weeks ago. And I hadn't been in there forever, and I went to log into it. Oh, it don't know who the fuck I am. So whatever I put in there under that account, that's gone. It's gone. So I look on my passwords file. I never put it in there. I never put it in my passwords yet. And I should have, So I said, well, no Netflix. I'm a fucking poor dumb moron. You should have saved that in your password file,
Yeah. But yeah, I got all the fun stuff, Netflix, Hulu, Disney, HBO, Paramount, AMC, Peacock TV, which is kind of like Sling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I'll get the most use out of will be Netflix, AMC, and Disney. I get the most use out of them. I want to watch the Mandalorian over again,
Yeah, I probably should watch that at some point.
You haven't watched it yet?
Not at all.
Oh, yeah, it was pretty good. It was, it isn't to die for or anything, but it was pretty good. I liked the series, and I just didn't like that the series wasn't going on and on and on and on forever. This new one they've got, what's it called? It's not on Netflix. It's on Amazon Prime. Oh shit! Why can't I remember the name of it? But it's a new series they got. Only 4 episodes have been done so far, and that one's, fantasy kind of
Wheel of Time.
Yes. Now I've been watching that. I watched the first 2 episodes, and then I waited for the next Friday, watched that one, then I watched the 4th one now, and yeah, I'm enjoying that series.
Yeah.
Hey, Native Grammy. Hi, sweetheart.
Yeah, it was a good book series. So
yeah.
It's on my to-do list. I've been finishing up For All Mankind on Apple TV. Which is the whole premise is the space race didn't end.
Yeah.
Back in the 70s. Russia landed there first. Yeah. So then you got the back and forth of everything's focused on space travel and trying to one up each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's an interesting, alternative history
Yeah.
deal, and
Yeah. The Infinite Ma was asking what year CRV you got.
it's 2008.
And it's for sale.
Yeah.
Fix and repair on your own. Yeah. The take a look quick over here. It's good that all is well, Grammy. Yeah, I watch typically a movie a night. Not every single night, but I squeeze a movie in. Or if I'm watching a series, documentary series or something, and they're hour-long shows, I'll watch 2 or 3 in a night. That's my TV involvement, Otherwise, Minecraft right now. Don't even go there with me. I don't even want to.
I got so mad that I rage quit. I just
That-
go back to main screen, close application. It's like I'm going to try to save and exit, just shut it down, because I was grinding on it, got myself set up, got the portal open to go into the nether, step out of the portal, and it's in the middle of the lava lake.
Right. Yeah.
It wasn't on
you.
land. It's like, yeah, thanks. And I was like 20 blocks above the lake, so I got to watch myself fall before I died. It's like,
Well, and that's it. Is the only way to save yourself from that is to fuck it up if you're playing. The only way you can't save yourself from that shit is if you're playing survival. If you're playing survival and that happens, there's no fucking way you'll ever recover. Every time you respawn, you're respawning in the middle of that fucking lava. You're fucked. You're fucked. You're fucked. You're fucked every time. But if you switch it, go into settings, but then you blow any chance to future trophies on that world.
Right. Yeah. Keep inventory.
Go keep inventory and go creative. Then you'll respawn in the lava and you can fly out of it.
Well,
And
see,
then-
I respawned back in my bed, but all my diamond equipment and stuff was gone.
You are responding. So you got a good respawn
Yeah,
point.
I have a base set up, a village that was wiped out.
See me in survival, every time I get into what I call a risk zone, I've always got 1 or 2 spare chests on me. I throw a chest down, throw everything fucking in it, and then I will do what I'm doing in that high risk zone. Then I come back, gather up my chest and shit, and get the hell out of there. And I may die once or twice in that zone. And I never anymore, ever, well, I haven't for over 2 years. I don't go anywhere without a fucking bed.
Right.
When I start a new world, I'm a homebody until I've got certain shit. And then from there, I explore all over and try to expand. And blah,
Well, and
blah.
see, initially when I went in there, it's like I went in with, diamond pickaxe, and diamond sword in case I had to fight any of those stupid piglings.
Right.
Because the pigmen or zombie pigs or whatever they are, they won't mess with you unless you attack them. But those piglings will come after you.
Yeah.
But I also had like 4 stacks of dirt. It was like, I'm gonna build a dirt dome shelter around the portal, so that when I pop in, there's nothing in the immediate area of my portal when I come in. Yeah, I step out of that portal like woohoo! It's like
Yeah.
great.
Now the thing is why I'm not touching Minecraft for a while now. I'm not gonna. I just stopped night before last. Said that's enough for a while. Okay, I watched the Game of Thrones series all the way through, all 8 seasons, and I just watched it every night. I was watching like 3 episodes a night, just boom, 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 right through the whole series, unending. And got a wild hair up my ass and decided, well, I'm going to create a. I've done this before, but on such a smaller scale. I'm going to create a Minecraft world, and I'm going to name it The Wall, and I'm going to build me a goddamn Game of Thrones ice wall. Oh, fuck. I bit off way the hell too much. That wall, the top cap of the wall is only five tiles below cloud level. That's how tall the wall is. That frickin' wall in length, just in length, was 12,000 plus. I can't remember what, but it's 12,000 something tiles long, that wall. And it follows a winter biome. And it turns and follows it. It's not just a straight flat wall. It's following the biome. So it's about 160 tiles tall.
Right.
It's 8 tiles thick. Do you know how much grinding you fucking have to? I'm halfway done with that fucking wall. I've been working on it for over a month, and literally I looked at what I estimated. I've got about 140 hours just trying to get the wall in. I've got the whole, I did the whole base of the wall and filled the base so it's level. So now I can start laying tile at one end and just zing all the way to the other end. Turn around and lay another row. Oh my fucking God. So I got pissed off and I quit and I went to approximate center of the wall and I stacked the tiles 160, 165 tall. And I'm going from that stack to the one end and back. So I'm only doing half the wall. Now I've got half of the wall done to 130 tiles tall. Just to break the monotony, the other half of the wall, I got up to 90 some tiles at that level. I went through the whole fucking wall and bored out a fucking tunnel at 90, 94, I think is the level it's at, all the way the full length of that tunnel. And I laid track through the whole fucking thing. It's gotten out of control. It's insane. I got 2 of my castles started, not completed. And it's just like, I'm trying to mix things up. What can I work on for a while that takes me away from the grind, and then do a little project and then grind. And I bit off way the fuck too much. That goddamn, I didn't realize that the seed I used, I knew it had a good winter biome, but I never actually explored that biome to see how big it was. So I loaded it and I started building the fucking wall. Well, I'm almost what I have finished now, for full length. I was almost to the end of that length when I realized this is going for fucking ever, man. There's nowhere I can end this goddamn wall that separates all of these desert and jungle and mesa and all those biomes from the winter biome. Where's the end of this son of a bitch? Because it's infinite world, and I want the biggest winter biome and a wall. Oh fuck no. Oh fuck no. Finally, I got to the end where, yeah, it terminates in the ocean on both ends. And it's like, that's cool because wildlings ain't going to swim out there. So I'm good. You can't see land on either end of it looking out over the ocean. That's good. That blocks all that winter biome from everything south of it. Now getting that cocksucker 165 tiles high and building all of my lookouts and all of that. Oh, fuck. I finally just went. I was sitting there. When you wake up and you open your eyes and you're looking at a 65-inch screen and you're going across the screen going, but you're in midair, just going across the screen, you stop and you turn around, you look around, and you're like, where the fuck am I? I fell asleep for 20 fucking minutes. It took me 20 fucking minutes to get back to where I started. I was sleeping with the controller going, and off I was going. That is frustrating shit, boy. I'm telling you. So I figure, no, it's freaking me out now. Now I'm getting too wound into this goddamn world. I need a sabbatical. I need to get away from it. Once I get settled at your place, I'll probably go back into working on it.
Yeah, I had taken, I made, a water elevator going down to level 12.
Yeah.
To look for diamonds and stuff.
Yeah, diamond mine.
I was down there grinding, and then I got thinking about it. I'm like, wait a minute, run back up, because before I got in there, because I get into the world, I start running. I'm looking for a village. They've got beds already.
That's it. You can pillage. Yeah, that's I try to do that too. I'll look quite a ways out for that one village. If I don't find one and I'm out there and if I go through a whole daylight cycle and I haven't found a goddamn village, I'm pissed, man. I'm pissed. Yeah. And if I don't, and the one thing I will do before I start anything is I nab up enough wood to get myself a crafting table and make myself a wooden sword. And only one wooden shovel. That's all I need. I go and I find sand because you're going to run into it if you're going to go explore, try to find that village. You'll run into sand. And I harvest a shitload of sand in case I never find that village, because I'll stack that fucking sand and I'm sitting up there at about 40 blocks for the night.
Yeah. I'll run through the night dodging things.
I used to do that, but
first thing I do when I get into a village, then if it's at night, it's easy enough. It's like, go to bed, but in the morning, then it's like I gather up blocks, dirt or whatever, and I ring the town bell so all the villagers go into their houses.
Yeah,
and I block the doors. So they can't get out of the houses.
Yeah,
because I don't want them to get munched by zombies. I need them there for the pillagers.
Right.
So I block them all in their houses, and then I start doing my stuff. So I got all these prisoners.
Yeah.
I raided like 8. This desert I went across trying to find a village. I come across 8 different temples, desert temples. So take and scavenge all the dynamite out of the bottom, all the TNT. And that's what I ended up using down at the level 12 is I just dug 4 channels, 4 different directions, and I laid out, like 70 dynamite out there. It's like ignite and go up my waterfall, let it blow out big, huge cavern. It's like, okay, we can start digging from here. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's nice if you can make yourself a good pit to work in. I got one world where it's got a nice home base on the surface. Right next to that home base is a big fucking mountain. And you can see one entrance into that mountain. You go in that entrance, go in the mountain. I hollowed that whole fucking mountain out, man, all the way down to bedrock, the whole fucking mountain. And at the bedrock level, I tiered like steps up to 12, 11, 10, or between 10 and 12. And it's mine shafts running off in every fucking direction. And it takes it. If you ride a mine cart out to the outer perimeter of the mine and then jump on the outer perimeter rail, it'll take you exactly 1 hour and 45 minutes to make it all the way around the mine to ride a mine cart. That's how far around. Just to ride a mine cart around the mine is 1 hour and 45 minutes of just riding. And all of that is mined. All of it is mined. And that was built. The whole thing was done. It took me 2 years working on it periodically. When I get a craving and spend 8-10 hours at a crack working on it, that whole goddamn world was done in survival and it's still saved in survival. It was never put under creative. So all of the ore that I harvested doing that fucking whole mountain down to bedrock and all of the mine shafts off of it. I mean, I was going out 1,500 tiles out. That's how far out the mine shafts went. And it was every other block. 2-block mine shaft. Turn around, mine in 2 blocks, turn, mine 2 blocks back out. That means you covered every single block. There's no hidden minerals or anything except possibly in that wall underneath a tile. That's the only place there could be, and it's so few. It's not even worth looking for them because everything else is all different stone and material. That fucking mine is insane. I couldn't believe I had to build an extra building just to store all of the minerals.
Big chest monster.
yeah, chest monster. That's what it was. And then once I got it to that point, I mean, I can keep going. It's an infinite world. I can just keep going out and out and out. I'm one where I mine, I hit lava. Don't fuck with me. I'll mine up to the side, whatever, until I get up. And I'm going to fill that bitch in so that I can have my mine shaft through that. It might be a big bubble of lava, and I got a mine shaft through it. And because nothing's going to stop me. I'm going to keep going out and out and out and out. And I want to go out equally all the way around that whole mine. And it gets ridiculous. I've done that with railroads and under creative. I'm out 15,000 blocks, all 4 directions of the compass from bearing 00. I start at bearing 00 and I build a command center, and I got 4 railroads heading out 15,000 blocks, all 4 directions. And then once I hit 15,000 on each one, I went left and right out 15,000 and did that for each one of those 4 spurs. And now I got them all connected, but they're 30,000 blocks across each end. Mm-hmm. And then I interconnected all of them in like 2,000 block segments all the way back to the center. You run around through that fucking world and there's villages everywhere, temples everywhere, and none of them touched. It was all done in creative. And what do? Now that I got that world laid way the fuck out. I mean, those are long train rides if you want to get just to the outer rim and just play out there. That's a long train ride out there. You get your cart going, go fix yourself lunch or some shit, come back, and have a sandwich while you're waiting to get there. But after I created it all in creative, I didn't touch a fucking thing. I didn't alter any villages, any temples, nothing. Didn't left everything just the way I found it. The only alterations you saw were the occasional bridge or something for the rail. Once I was to that point, I shut it down, did a save, pulled it back up, changed my settings to survival, popped in that fucking world in survival. Virtually with nothing. Because I didn't leave a bunch of goodies and chests and stuff around. There's nothing. It's like you spawned into this world with nothing. So jump in the minecart and take a ride, because there are minecarts at the command. Jump in a minecart and zip out there and find the first village you can, man. Because you got to get some gear. You got to get some supplies, and you got to survive. You're not playing creative anymore. And that's what I've gotten in the habit. That's why I'm doing the wall. When the wall's done, my castles are done, all that shit, I'm not zipping around exploring in this world. I'm building the world, and then once the world's built, then I'm dropping my ass in there on survival mode. And yeah, I'm on my own, man. And what I'll do is I'll travel way the fuck away from the wall, way south of it, somewhere, and do a save. I'll do a spawn point. I'll drop a bed and do a spawn point there, and then I'll get rid of the bed, do a save, and then a reload under survival, and I'll spawn in that spot. And I'm way the fuck away from everything. And I'll have to work my way, and eventually I'll get to my wall. And then I can have fun at the wall. But yeah, see, that's it. That's what Minecraft's all about, is creating imaginary worlds, and how are you gonna react in those worlds. And I like the ones that I've got my automated farms in, and my glass factories, and my iron factory, and all that shit. I like those too. That's a nice thing with Minecraft is people that give up on Minecraft Minecraft is the limit of your imagination. That's all it is. Yeah, and if your imagination just ain't up to it, you ain't gonna do it. You ain't gonna do all that,
Well, and really, it's the only game that, for how long it's been out, and yet it's still going strong. There's still tons of content. People are creating, groups getting together, playing,
and they're still upgrading. There's new add-ons and things that, on the PC side, people don't realize just how massive that whole thing has become, but they're still adding, they're still creating, and so
when they came out with the rockets, that was about 10 years ago, but that was crazy. All the stuff you had to do to go through and build the rockets, and I'm sitting there, I got friends that do this.
Well, that's the one thing. That's the one thing in the PS4 version or Xbox versions that's the one thing I don't care for is they do. It needs to be an option when you're going into inventory or crafting and you're creating. They need an option tab that is literally detailed recipes of everything.
Right.
And there's a lot of items that aren't in there. There's a lot of items that you can create that aren't in there, but you can still create them. They need a recipe book. It's like with making potions. It's like with enhancing, enchanting certain things. Do you use an enchantment table or an enchantment table, or do you do that through smithing, or there's no recipe book. There's no recipe book for all of those things. That I wish somebody would really delve into and create a Minecraft recipe book for anything you can possibly create.
Well, one feature that's on the PC that I really wish we had on PS4 or Xbox is when it came down to what you call it, like making slabs. Where we can make a half block.
Yeah.
Well, you could make plates, which is a quarter slice.
Yeah.
And you could do that in half. So you got a thin strip one, or you had you can make like a little cube that's like 1/64 of a full cube, which is great stuff when they're building. You want to add design feature.
That's it. That puts you close. It makes it pixels instead of blocks. That gives you more of an ability to get the roundness to things and stuff. So I totally agree. Another thing, PS4 for them it would be a simple fix, and why they haven't, I don't know. If I lay carpet, or if I put down slabs, throw a bed on it, the fucker's 3 feet off the floor. Why can't you put a bed on the fucking floor? Well, because there's carpet in there and it takes up one full block. Even though it's just that thin carpet, it's taken up that full block. They need to me, that's a glitch. That's not even, that's a fix. That's something they need to fix. It's not a shortcoming or anything like that. It's just, damn it, fix that shit. I mean, some things you can squat in place to get things to where it kind of forgets what that block is, but not everything. And don't create things that you can't use other things that should be able to be there, that you can't put them there, it's so much, but Minecraft, I'd venture to say it's the most advanced, complex growth gaming program that's ever been created. And the amazing part is well over 90% of Minecraft was user created. That's what's amazing. That's what's amazing. It's all user created. Started on the PC and people would go, hey, look at what I created. Boop, 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 boop. We can do this and this and create this. Let's add that. Add it in. And so it was what a massive collab that game.
Well,
became.
and the limitations on the console versus PC, when it comes to what blocks are available and stuff.
Yeah, well, it's understandable.
It's understandable
because
at the same time, it's like, well, okay, if you got the PC, you might as well play it on there. There's like a lot of those, a lot of the worlds people have built that you can download, you can play through it, full cities.
And if you try to do that on console, you're talking full years of building. Where on the PC you can accelerate all those projects. That's like on console, laying a block at a time. It's a whole different story when on the PC you can actually pick a range and do a fill of every block.
Well, you can do that on the console with under creative.
How?
I'll have to get you the commands. That you open up the chat and there's a command line you put in. To do like from
Open the
X.
chat.
Yeah. You push left on the directional pad to open the chat, and it's like slash. I can't remember the code right off the hand, but you could type your codes in there to do fills or deletes. It's like, hey, I want a big cube hole from this point to that point down there, and it will empty it all out. Or I want to change that whole hole. I want to change that whole hole into diamonds. It's like you could do all that, all those same commands
on the console.
On the console, I've done that under creative.
Okay, I wasn't aware.
You could do teleports. Say, hey, I need to go to this point. I'm going to go work on that project. Your coordinates. You can put it in. Boom, you're there.
Right. Yeah. Well, you and I will have to have a discussion on that.
Yeah. I've got it on the laptop, so when I get home, I'll print it out.
Okay.
And then email you a copy too when I fire it up. But so you've got it. So you've got all those codes. Yeah. That's pretty slick.
Okay. Hey, we got to wrap this up.
Yeah, we went an hour beyond.
Yeah. Above and beyond.
Yeah. That sounds like a good movie. The Hour Beyond.
The Hour Beyond. Yeah.
Yeah.
An hour too much and $1 too short. Okay, guys, all you folks viewing, hanging out yet, I want to thank all of you for being here. It's been a blast, as it always is. Sorry about running water and I just running off with the mouths about PlayStation and the like, but you know how things go when we're just doing the open chat. And I want to thank you all for following me. It's awesome. Don't forget tomorrow night, 5 p.m. Sty Times. It's a 1-hour show. That's it, guys. And then I'll be back after that Wednesday night with another Sty Times. So, yeah, typical full week schedule, which that's what I'll close with tonight is what my weekly schedule is so that you can remember what's coming up and what's going on. So all of you stay healthy, happy, and safe out there. And until the next time, guys, I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
We all have a story, we all have a tale. Well, there's a place I've come to know well, led by a man named Sty. He's full of stories, he is quite a guy. Sit around the campfire and hear him tell his tale. Some may be able